All right, grand rising loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as I am today. Shout out to y'all for coming all up in the building. I appreciate everybody that's coming in. Again, make sure that you guys are hitting the like button on the way in. Also, make sure that you guys are subscribed and that you share out the show so everybody knows that we are live. Guys, we are going to get in depth about Alan Logic's show last night. I thought it was a great show. And for those of you that missed it, I am going to put a link to it in the description box so that you guys can watch the full show over there. But we are going to go over some really interesting details in the show and kind of break down some things that happened there. We're also going to talk about a little bit of Lenon honor. The other day, I said that I wanted to break down the conversation that he had with the information man. I am still going to do that, but I wanted to give my opinion on some points, at least one of the points that he brought up in the information man interview, because I thought it was very interesting to learn that. And I actually did a video about that subject a while ago, probably almost 2 years ago. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But I'll break it down at another point because I have some breakdowns on that specific point on Lenon honor. So I'm going to talk about that, and that'll probably be a 2-part series. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit today and then give you guys a full series on it, or a full documentary on it a little bit later on. Now, also, we're going to talk very briefly, guys, about Jaguar Wright, because she is back in the news, and how much Goomba wants to be completely out at this point. And we're going to talk about and break that down a little bit and just kind of get into that, okay? I also, while I was pulling up my commentary and pulling up Alan Logic's information on his video, I actually came across a video that Shakim did about an hour ago, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do a reaction to that video. I did not hear it yet, so we're going to all hear it together, okay? And just do a reaction. Again, this will all be in the name of fair use. Truly appreciate everybody for coming in. Again, guys, hit the like button on the way in, and we are going to get right into the show now.
It's Blog Lounge Entertainment, and the time is right with T-Pre.
Good morning and grand rising to you. Make a change. I appreciate you being in the building. And that's right. Get them likes up. We don't want T-Pre hitting us with no timers, okay? Y'all know I'll hit y'all with a 15-minuter, okay? If y'all don't do it, y'all don't do it. Hey, Stephanie, I appreciate you being in the building as well. You said, what's good this morning, my people? Listen, we are going to get into all this good tea this morning, okay? Let's start off with Jaguar Wright and Goomba, okay? And let's get into this stuff real quick. You said the lady told us them cash apps everybody sent her went to Bobby for the fenta weed. Child, we going to get into all of this bullshit, okay? Now, listen. Jaguar Wright is back in the news again, bugging her ass off, okay? Now, yesterday, and it wasn't yesterday that she did all these rants. It was just she was showing the world all of her recent rants in the past couple of days, okay, all at one time. So you had to break that down first, because I first thought that she was actually calling all these people all at one time, okay? So what happened was Jag went live, and she decided to show the public all these manic phone calls that she has recently made in the past couple of days, the past few days, starting off in like the end of February somewhere. What she did was she called to DeSoto police. She called, oh my gosh, she called a series of various people, different celebrities, all kinds of stuff. She called the crisis line on her husband, all kinds of stuff. And I think she did call the crisis line live. Okay. So what she's been telling them is that the guy Bobby at the barbershop where Solar got his ass beat, okay, he is this big drug dealer and allegedly, and well, he's not, but he's supposed to be this big drug dealer, and he's selling fenta weed to the whole community, and every young boy that sits in his barbershop is like, he's like grooming them to sell drugs and all this other crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Okay. So I really don't know what her reasoning is behind that, other than, okay, she's mad at the fact that she's kind of gotten embarrassed in that situation. That's also one of Goomba's friends or family members or something. So it's like she's trying to get at anybody that's around him. Okay. She tried to get at his mom. She's tried to get at his other family members. And they're just looking at her like she's crazy. What's up, Diggable? I appreciate you being in the building. You said if anybody's connect runs dry, Bobby in DeSoto, Texas got the Fenta. Okay. Girl, I'm just saying. So anyway, she was basically just saying all this crazy stuff. And Goomba is pretty much done. Okay. He went live, I guess, because she had doxed his phone number, all kinds of stuff. She was screaming at the crisis line people, the lady on there telling her that she'll unalive her. Okay. She was saying she didn't want to unalive herself, but she'll more than willing unalive the lady that's on the crisis line. Okay. She was just saying all kinds of craziness to this lady and to multiple people. Okay. So what it sounds like to me is that she is the one that needs to be committed. I think instead of them locking her up the other day, I think they should have committed her, right? I think that would have served her much better. I'm sorry, guys. I think that would have served her much better if they had committed her and actually gotten her stabilized, because she still has not gotten stabilized. Okay. Even if they gave her medication for that night, you have to keep taking it. And it has to be a certain level of it in your system, right? For it to actually be working and to be working properly. So if she's not on her medication consistently and taking the medication properly and on the proper dosage or have the proper medication, it could be all kinds of things going on with that. This is going to cause her to go through these manic episodes like she is. I'm not surprised at all, honestly, that she's going back and forth through these manic episodes like this if she's not stabilized properly on proper medication, because we already are aware of her mental illness, right? To me, it looks like Goomba is very stable. It looks like he's actually doing what he's supposed to do, right? He said he's properly taking his medication regimen every day, okay? And he's doing what he has to do. And he's also staying away from the toxicity of his marriage, okay? Which is another thing that I have a question about. There's a few people that have brought up some points in regards to Goomba and his marriage, okay, with Jag. So allegedly there's a lady named Christina or Christian Robinson or Christian Johnson or something like that, or Christina Johnson. And she's allegedly Goomba's wife on paper, okay? There was never a divorce between the two. And she lives currently with the children in a home that he owns. Okay. Like, everybody knows Goomba was in the military. He has all kinds of GI bills and different things like that, where he can own property much easier than maybe some other folks would. Right. And yeah, he has a house that is on record that apparently his wife and children live in. Okay. So it's a question of whether or not him and Jaguar are even really married. Okay. They claim that they got married within 21 days, right? that, they kind of met and they got together and then they decided to get married and they just did. I wonder if it was just kind of like a fly by night quick situation where nobody checked into backgrounds, nobody did anything like that. It was just kind of like almost like and I'm not putting Muslim marriage down, but it's almost like that. Like it's not really necessarily on paper, depending on how many men, how many wives you may have, right? As a man, as a Muslim man, or even a polygamist, right? The ones who are in the LDS church, all of those women don't be on paper, right? So, but they might be, one of them might be the wife, and then the rest of them, they have this common law relationship that the church recognizes, right? But nobody else in actual law would recognize. Okay, so if it's something like that, I'm thinking that it's along those lines with Jag and Goomba, because if he's actually still married in the U.S., there's no way he can have a second wife. So that is very questionable, and that's something that I will be looking into a little bit more, just to see what's going on with that. You said VA, no money down on housing purchase. Yep. My son's father was in the military, so yeah, I'm very aware of a lot of things that they provide, and yeah, I wasn't surprised at all that he would have a home or two somewhere. Also, with Goomba, this is what I noticed about yesterday. I noticed a lot yesterday in regard, because he talked a lot more about Philadelphia. What I noticed is that Philadelphia, and shout out to Eyes Antonia, I also have been looking at Philadelphia too. I just haven't been covering it because Eyes has been covering it. So you guys make sure you go over to Eyes, right? But I've been looking at Philadelphia, and there's nothing really there. There's not really anything to really see, right? And there's been no movement, especially since Goomba and her kind of separated. Okay. So if Jag was really, really moving the company and she was the business brand and everything was really hers, she would still be moving with this company, right? She would still be making moves. She would have her executive team making moves. Somebody would be doing something. But the only ones that seem to be making any kind of money off of them is Night and Day Network, Real Life Street Productions, and those people, and Sean and all people that get monetized from talking about it. Really, those are the only people that seem to be making any money right now. And Goomba made that very clear to why. He said that he runs that business. That's his business. He wants to separate everything that he owns concerning equipment, concerning business name, business branding, bank accounts, all kinds of stuff. He wants to separate all of that from her. He said he sent her an email. How I also believe that they're not really married is because if they were, a lot of this stuff would be community property, okay? And they would have to go through an actual attorney to separate and split, some things that, that have been started after the marriage was together, okay? You can't just leave a marriage and be like, yep, I want this, I want that, and you ain't getting shit, and you can't do that. When you go to court, that could be contested. And there's an attorney here that can kind of speak for this stuff. But I do think that they're not married, which is why it's so easy for him to just take whatever belongs to him and be like, bye, bitch. Like, I'm out. Okay. And you should see how many chicks are throwing the cootie at this guy. Okay. I mean, they are in his DMs. They is on Front Street. They don't care. Okay. They do not care. Like, I don't think he's going to have a hard time at all finding any new type of woman or finding anything. He's not a bad looking dude, and he's got his shit together clearly. I'm not saying that he's, everything is perfect, but he's got his shit together and he's not perfect, but he has served his country. He went through some very painful things while doing that. He's been through some other traumas, but he is actually addressing that, right? And he's doing something about that. And I'm actually proud of him. I actually like the guy. I think he's pretty cool. I think he's funny, and I think he's going to find a good woman. I really do. If he really stays on the path of not fooling with Jaguar anymore, which I do think would be really in his best interest at this point. I honestly don't think it would be good for him to keep fooling with her. But we'll see what happens here with him. But yeah, Jag has been really, really going at him and really giving him a hard time, and just constantly going on and on and on, and not really, bringing any substance to this man's life. And I think he's just tired. I really do. I think he wants her deep down. I think he does want her to just get herself together. But I think he knows, at this point that this is just a little bit much. And the longer that he stays away, the more manic she becomes without him being around, the longer he's going to realize, the more he's going to realize how much he doesn't really need her. Right. And eventually he'll just go and move on, hopefully anyway. But yep, you said toast up to Miss T. Pre. I appreciate you for being in the building. You said, and Ramirez making sure they protected. Child, that's what they said. That's what she's saying, that this cop Ramirez is out here making sure that Bobby at the barbershop is under protection, okay? Like, it's just crazy, some of the stuff that she be saying. Anyway, so let me go ahead and get back into the comments here. I apologize, guys. I had to take a sip of my water. Beautiful Bernice says, good morning to everyone. I appreciate you being in the building. And Sparkle, I appreciate you. You said Miss T in chat. You said she can fake it to the point after 72 hours, and they may feel like they have to turn her loose. There's no good answer, it feels like. Yeah, it isn't. I just feel like, I don't know. I think that cops need to be more trained on mental health issues, right? There should be more training on that. They should be able to see and notice some things like this. I think that would cut down on shooting deaths and stuff. I think that would cut down on a lot of things. If they had been able to notice that there is obviously something happening here that's not right, to the point where they had to go and get her medication and have that brought so that she can take that, right? If they know all of this, I think that it should have been their responsibility at that point to get her committed, you know what I mean? Or have something done so that she can get into a hospital and get stabilized. And if, and then if family can step in, then maybe there's a lot that could go on. Even Goomba could have done something at that point. He probably wouldn't have, but anybody that's family could have helped out with that and even got her kept for longer than 72 hours. But even 72 hours would have been long enough to get enough medication in her. She was in there less than 24 hours, right? And she probably only had that one dose. And then after that, she probably came out and had a drink or 2 or 10, on top of whatever other drugs she used, So that's why I was thinking, at least get her stabilized, at least get her in some group counselings, some regular counseling sessions, get her in front of a psychiatrist, right? And a psychologist, so that she can really get some help, because that's what she really needs. She don't need to be in jail. You said VA, no money. Oh yeah, I read that one. You said they wouldn't check necessarily to get the license here. You just swear you ain't married. It's on you if you become a bigamist. Oh, okay. That's interesting to know that. That's very interesting. And that's in a couple of states it's like that too. I know that I want to say Utah. I think Utah is like that. You can go up there and you can be like, yeah, I ain't married. And then, you just have like a whole ceremony, right? I think Nevada's like that too. There's a couple of places where you can actually do that, and it's just on you if somebody finds out that you're married, But here in Delaware, honey, they checking. They definitely checking. They doing full background checks on niggas. He says, subscribe to Arkadelphia, my new platform, only $3.50 for a lifetime subscription. I got you, Steph. I'll be over there. You said good for him. Child, I'm telling you, he really deserves to be away from this woman and have some peace of mind and not be going through all this nonsense and just all this, this drama all day, every day. Jag is older than me. She should not want to just have life just this big ass party all the time. But that's what she's been doing for the past few years. She's been doing this for so long, probably most of her adulthood, she's been doing this for so long that she thinks it's normal. She don't even realize that she has a problem. She probably does, but she don't want to admit it. You can almost hear it in the pain in her voice when she was talking to the crisis counselor, trying to call the crisis counselor on her husband, right? When really it should have been calling on her. And the lady ended up picking that up. Like, she was asking her questions about whether, she wanted to unalive herself and stuff. And Jag got really, really offended by that. She was really, really offended, and just started kind of bringing up the trauma that she went through, or stuff that she claims she went through. Um, I did hear that the family had been on Tasha K. It was the niece and the aunt, or not the aunt. It was the niece and the cousin, and then it was also the baby dad. Okay, so all of them were on Tasha K, and they had given Tasha this interview, and I didn't have no issue with the baby dad. First of all, he fine as a motherfucker, number one. So I have no issue with him at all. But with the cousin, I was taken a little bit aback by that, because that's her cousin, right? And they grew up together. Their mothers are sisters. But the issue that I was taking with her is she was trying to downplay anything that happened to Jaguar, as far as S assault or S abuse as a child. And if that's kind of happened so often in families where people just say, no, there's no way that happened with this person. This person didn't do this. You know what I mean? And there's no way. And that also contributes to somebody's mental illness and somebody's mental condition, right? Later. And those things will surface later, and they'll talk about these things in pain because they haven't been able to address this pain, right? I need families to become educated on things that may have happened in the past, and to not just, be so quick to say something didn't happen because it didn't happen to other children in the household, or it didn't happen to other children in the family, right? It doesn't mean it didn't happen with that child. And I find it very cringeworthy when I hear families doing that, right? When they're, you can say whatever you want and, even dislike her behavior and stuff like that, but never deny somebody's S abuse. Don't say that it didn't happen if you don't have proof it didn't happen, because it really may have happened, even if you think that person that they're accusing is completely incapable of doing such a thing. I will tell you, 99.999% of S abuse and R word and all that stuff and M word and all those things happen behind closed doors where nobody is present. Okay. So I just wanted to make that clear, but I really felt like that was sad that the family was trying to say that about Jag, and they don't really know. And instead of doing that, it would be better to just accept and embrace what happened and do something more about that, right? Address that issue, address how to deal with the issue head on, as opposed to denying it, ignoring it, and pushing it under the rug, because now you're creating a bigger problem, So that's just a little food for thought on that. You said Stephanie Sakala surviving these streets. Child, you said it may be community property, right? Like, even if it's a second illegal marriage, he can do whatever he wants unless she stops him by getting the courts involved. Yeah, because what she could do, right, is then say, oh, I didn't know he was already married. You know what I mean? And, now there's damages because of that, which I would doubt if she could really get out of that. But, I mean, she'd have to prove that she didn't know it, right? Or whatever. I mean, this is a whole nother story. We don't know if any of this is even part of it. But either way, I really do think that, I don't think that they're really married. But, yeah, that could be true. You said diggable is hard out here for a pimp. Child. You said Steph pimping ain't easy. You said that is very true, T. Pre. Remember Eleanor Bumpers? The policeman didn't know how to help her and killed her. Facts. Exactly. They just didn't know, right? There's other ones, too, where they had real mental illness. And instead of them assisting them and getting them help, they just shoot them, and they're their families are just left to grieve over that after even knowing that they had a mental illness. You know what I mean? Like, and they probably were the ones that called the cops. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. You said pimping ain't never died. Diggable. You said Steph. You said it's not legal and you can be charged with the offense of bigamy, but only if you get caught. Exactly. You said if she can't come to terms that her career didn't bear out like others she came up with. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You said, and I'm not trivializing it. I think she's kind of in an existential crisis and doesn't know where to go. You know what? I agree with that. Like she's kind of like in this mid-age crisis, right? And she's been through so many things and so much trauma, and it's just all built up together. And she's not really serious about fixing it, right? She's not really serious about getting help for it and making things better. So now she's just kind of existing, and the pain of it all is probably opening up even more because Goomba is not here, right? He's no longer there, and now she's just kind of fending for herself with all this stuff, even though she's got Legina and whatever. That's not really helpful, but it's kind of they're kind of like filling in space. But when you got to be alone, right? That is when you really, really can face the demons that you're dealing with. When you're by yourself and when you're chilling and you're doing you, that is when you got to face the demons that you're actually dealing with, because that is when you only have time. Everything else is when you're always, distracted. You're constantly moving, constantly doing something, constantly doing this, constantly doing that, and you don't take time for yourself. Then those demons will just sit there until you actually deal with them. And I really think that that's what's kind of she's going through right now. All of everything that she's experiencing is something that was already there. She was just kind of pushing in the back, while Goomba was there to kind of take on everything. And then she can throw and project all of that on him. But right now she can't project that on him because he's not there. So now it's showing her it's showing its ugly head. Hey, Alan, I appreciate you being in the building. We're going to go over your awesome show last night in just a few moments. There were some great points in that show that I want to go over this morning. But we're also going to go over a little topic that Shakim did called Alan Logic, the intervention. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a live reaction to that. And just take a look at that because I don't know what he was talking about on there, but what he was talking about on the show last night was crazy. So I guess we're going to have to do a little comparison. And I appreciate you being in the building. You said, Steph, yes, her career didn't pop like a Whitney, etc. That the Jag part, it really didn't. And that really hurts her, right? And that, and on top of some many other things and just failed situations, I think she's just broken at this point. You said if she isn't going to tour and perform, I can only imagine not knowing what to do with yourself. Right. While she's dealing with depression, schizophrenia, allegedly, and some other things. Right. I can imagine. And it's untreated. Schizophrenia is not necessarily the problem. Like I said, my son has an issue and he has his issues treated. Right. And he's doing very, very well. So, as far as schizophrenia and other mental conditions, you can have multiple. There's various mental conditions out here, but there isn't an excuse to say, "Hey, I have a mental condition." It has to be treated, right? And you have to choose to treat it as an adult. So she's aware of her condition. She's aware of everything that's going on, and it's up to her to get it treated. But yeah, I think that her sitting there with those demons without running into different, performances and this and that and drugs and parties and this and everything else and everything. I think she has to face what she's dealing with, and that's facts. You said the industry too. Maybe she feels like they left her behind. I think so. I think part of it is, she feels slighted by a lot of things, especially seeing the likes of people like Beyonce and those and others who are actually younger than her, where they made it and they've become so successful and have successful marriages and different things like that and families, and it's kind of the life she never got, and Yeah, I could see why she would be jealous of the industry and jealous of women in the industry and always have things to say about stuff like that. You said she's got a palpable rage towards the industry. Yeah, she does. He said, Uncle Al, what's good? He said, Miss T, I always enjoy how you engage with the chat. Oh, thank you, Diggable. I appreciate that. I like what you guys have to say. So listen, let's go ahead and get into I want to get into a little bit of Lenin honor real quick because I think there's a couple of parts, or at least one particular thing that he mentioned that I can actually relate to. And I brought this up a couple years ago when I did my first Lenin honor and Umar Johnson comparison video, right? So I'm not going to play that because it's just I gotta find the part. Maybe I'll play it in the documentary I'm going to do. It's not really a documentary, but I'm going to compare Lennon's life to the JWs. Right now, I had said this in the past. I said this on a few panels, and I also said this in this video I'm talking about, where I said Umar Johnson and versus Lenin Honor, are they one and the same or something of that nature? And I had often said that the two of them have very similar characteristics. Okay. And this is why Lenin, and in the video, I mentioned how Lenin was so angry at Umar because he kind of saw himself in Umar. Okay. And that happens. People project, kind of like what we were talking about with Jaguar and Goomba just now, right? How people project them, their own behavior and, their own demons on other people. And especially people that they think are, similar, or they think are in some kind of competition, or if they, they may not be in a competition with you, but, you thinking that you're in some type of competition with them. And so you're just coming for this person all the time. So there's a couple of things that I've looked at with this once I found out from the information man for sure that Lenin Honor was a previous Jehovah's Witness. I did not know that, okay? But I said in my video a couple years ago, I said the Cookie Crush chat is like a big ass Kingdom Hall. I said that, and I said that it's run like the Kingdom Hall. It's very strict. It's even though people are gossipy and all that, but it's very strict on what you can and can't say. So if I'm in the Cookie Crush chat, there's certain specific things that I am allowed to say, and there's certain specific things I am not allowed to say. Okay. It was literally like that when I was over there hanging out with the AFWs. And it wasn't just, yes, ma'am, he was a witness, child. Child. So, okay, that actually brings me to what I want to talk about, because a lot of stuff that happens within the AFW movement is very much like the Jehovah's Witnesses, okay? Like I said, there's a hierarchy. There's kind of like the governing body, okay, which is the JWs. We're going to go through that in the AFWs. So it's the hierarchy of the governing body, okay? And then underneath of them would be anybody that's within Bethel. Underneath of them would be anybody that is an elder in the Kingdom Hall. No, I'm sorry. Let me go a little bit higher. There would be the district, what they have? District overseers, and then they have circuit overseers, and then they have elders, and then they have ministerial servants, okay? And that's how the hierarchy of the JWs goes. If I'm missing anybody, you guys can let me know. Also down under them would be pioneers and then auxiliary pioneers, and then there would be just a regular baptized publisher, a publisher, and then just a hang around. And they don't even have a name, just somebody that just comes, right? So yeah, that's the kind of the hierarchy of the witnesses, and that's exactly how the AFW structure was, okay? With Lenin being at the top rank of that, okay? So if Lenin was a witness in the past, okay, and him being a male witness in the Kingdom Hall, a black male witness in the Kingdom Hall, Lenin would look to people like the Cookie Crush chat to give him certain accolades. He would expect that. And this is kind of how they're trained, okay? Like they expect people to if they're doing the quote unquote righteous thing and doing the quote unquote right thing, okay, then they expect to move up in rank. They expect to move up in hierarchy, and they expect to be treated a certain way. They expect to have a certain reverence given to them, okay, as an elder would expect, as a circuit overseer would expect. When the circuit overseer comes in town, everybody in the Kingdom Hall straightens up. It ain't no problems, ain't nothing going on. Whatever was happening that was out of place, everybody got their shit together when the circuit overseer comes through. Okay. When the district overseer comes through, it is a big, big deal. All the Kingdom Halls are together. Everybody got to have on their best clothes, their best this. Everybody got to look perfect. The family's got to sit up straight. Ain't nobody chewing no gum. Kids ain't moving around. Ain't none of that going on because the Kingdom Hall got to be right, okay, when the district overseer comes through. That's kind of how Lenon is. He's kind of like the circuit overseer. Like he's like the district overseer. Anti-Afro's the circuit overseer, okay? Like, so that's kind of how they are. Like, he expects a certain level of reverence, and the Cookie Crush chat literally treats him like that. And that's kind of what he's used to. That's the lifestyle that they are used to. I know it sounds crazy to y'all, but in order for you to really understand how that works, you would have to have been part of that cult or have known the cult, right? But I have very much have said that they act like that. And what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm not going to do this today, just for the sake of time. But what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to break down, kind of like how I did with Larry Reed's church, okay? I'm going to break down the differences or the similarities with the organization and the Cookie Crush chat. I will do that one day. And I will explain it a lot more to help you understand exactly where I'm coming from. But for those of you that are former witnesses, those of you who are still witnesses, I have people that are still witnesses that actually watch me. And those of you who, they're kind of like what's called physically in, mentally out. Okay, so they're PMOs. But they watch me on Miss T Pre, and they watch me here too. And yeah, so for those of y'all are aware of what I'm talking about. There is definitely some similarities, strong similarities when it comes to the Cookie Crush chat, but particularly the one about speaking out of context with what they are trying to push. Whatever agenda they are pushing, saying anything outside of that will get you blocked. Okay, it will get you shunned, like the witnesses do. Okay, and Lenon tends to breed a environment like that. And now I know why. And I'm going to break all that down for you guys one of these days. But shout out to Lenon Honor with what he's actually doing. And I'm going to say this for those of us who have a problem and have had a problem with what he's doing. Okay. I'm going to say this much. Yes, I do think that Lenon can do other content, right? I have went over to and subscribed to the membership at one point. I think the other channel is still subscribed to his membership. But either way, I don't watch it. But either way, he doesn't make Umar videos behind the scenes. He doesn't usually make those types of videos. There are some, but it's not a lot. Okay. But he makes the Umar videos for the public, which kind of drives the people to his channel. Okay. He has built a core audience, and he's built a large and strong core audience. And I think it works for him, right? There are, people that focus on one thing on YouTube, and it works for their channel. This is what people come and subscribe and watch for. Even if I think he's wrong, even if, I think that he shouldn't be so hard on him, that's my opinion of it. But he is a content creator, and he's doing his thing. And I have to give him his props for that. I do. Especially after growing myself as a content creator and understanding that game, like really knowing that game, right? A lot of people don't understand that, and they look and they're like, oh, he's just trying to get money. Well, yeah, he is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is honestly a money-making business. This is what YouTube is, okay? So yeah, he probably is trying to get money, but what's wrong with that, Umar keeps making himself content. There's, stuff that Umar does that, is very questionable, that I even question myself. But I don't think he's scamming. I'm not gonna say I don't think he's scamming. I don't think he should be in jail. And what has been found at this point has not risen to the level of scam. It just has not. So, it just is what it is. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about the situation with Lenon. But I definitely do think there's multiple similarities with him and Umar. And I've already went over that on a couple of different videos. But I will go over a video on Lenon, the Cookie Crush chat, and the JWs, and how they are so extra similar. It's not even funny, guys. It's not even funny. So yes, child, he was a witness. You said, oh, you know what? Let me get to the super chats. I will get to those. We unlock. I appreciate you and what you're going to do about it. I appreciate you as well. I will get to those in just 1 second, guys. I don't want to lose these chats. You said, do you think that's why he went after Michael? Who are you? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Maybe I was. Let me go back up and see. Oh, you're talking about Jag? I don't know if you're talking about Jag. Let me know who you're talking about. You said Stephanie Collins salute. Oh, you're talking about Lenon? Yeah. You said who's in the watchtower? Child. You said T, talk about it, okay? You said, hey, Miss T Pre, keep that tea hot, baby girl. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate the $20 super chat from you. You said this is a bombshell to me. It all makes sense. Yeah. That was a bombshell to me too, but it wasn't super surprising, right? It was like, oh, it was kind of like a make sense moment, right? Like, oh yeah, well, that's what the fuck I said, right? Like kind of situation. That's how it came out for me. And I thought that was crazy. You said when AAS lost that shine, she lost her mind. Child. And that's exactly how the JWs are too. If you lose your footing within the organization, if you get reproved or disfellowshipped or anything, they lose their mind. Like they will. A JW has been known to unalive themselves and all kinds of stuff for being put out of the Kingdom Hall or put out of the organization. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised, y'all, if AAS was also a witness at one time. It would not surprise me whatsoever if it was told one day, or if we found out that Anti-Afro is either currently a witness or was a witness at one time, or her family is. It would not surprise me. Like she was raised in the organization, something. I think she said her father was in the military. So I wouldn't think that she was raised that way unless her mom was a witness. But yeah, it would not surprise me at all if Anti-Afro had connections with the JWs at all. You said this is real. You said this is real. Yikes. Yeah. You said exactly, Stephanie Collins, and took Rev G with her. Now I know he's not a witness, but he's in the church, and there's a lot of folks in the church that are similar too. You said big ups to Lenon. Okay. You said she was a witness too. She always claimed missionary Baptist, but those borders can be a little blurry. Yeah, because they all blurry though. Definitely. You said go sis, get them. We unlock. I appreciate you for the super sticker, bro. Shout out to you. And I love you, bro. It's all in love. Everything we talk about, even in the stuff you say. You say he got 5 kids. It's hard out here for a pimp with 5 kids. Okay. I'm just saying. You said Stephanie Collins, 5 kids will have you rethinking life. Child. I'm telling you, I raised 6. So yes, I know. You said so true, Stephanie Collins. You said Michael Jackson. Lenon did a whole video about MJ being demonic. Yep. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of the JW thing. Yes. Sorry, guys. I had to take a drink of my water. Yes, definitely because of the JW thing. That all makes sense to me now. I'll probably actually do a breakdown of the video if he still has it. I'll just do a breakdown of the whole video and compare that to some JW stuff and stuff that they have talked about. So he probably took full notes from like the Watchtower or full notes from the Awake, right, from back in the day. And probably gave you guys a documentary. As a matter of fact, it's going to make me go over a lot of his videos and just compare some stuff to JW stuff. Probably, I can tell you now too, what makes sense to me is his documentary on NWA, because the JWs were very, very much against NWA, very much against any kind of music coming from them, any kind of music coming out of the West Coast whatsoever. Okay, anything coming from over there was definitely frowned upon, and I know this because I was coming up in that era, and that my dad was real funny about music. Okay, real funny. But when he left, we was playing that shit. Okay. But I'm telling you, yes, it was definitely a thing with music. And so I'm probably going to go over a few of Lennon's videos and just be like, oh yeah, this is why he was doing this. Oh yeah, this comes from this article. Oh yeah, this comes from this article. Like I could do that now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and just kind of take a look into a lot of this stuff. And yeah, you said good morning, sweet Bernice. And you said, wow, interesting, child. I'm telling you. You said good morning. What you gonna do about it? And you said, right, one parent missionary Baptist and one parent a witness. Yeah, that would be crazy. You know, it's not unheard of. It's definitely not unheard of. But yeah, that would be very crazy. You said behave, slander, or you gotta go, white boy. You know what? What's up, Slander? You say you want to bet again? You said Steph, no gleam, no shine. LOL. You said LOL. You said Sparkle, how the F you been? Long time no see. You said, hey, chat lives. You said Lennon's audience base is ex Jehovah's Witnesses. He talked about it extensively on Facebook. Oh. See, the psychic whisperer be right, okay? I heard from Mia Mines, I'm the psychic whisperer. At least she didn't put no crazy looking photo of me up this time. But yeah, the psychic whisperer be correct on some shit, okay? Like I said, the Cookie Crush chat acts like a fucking Kingdom Hall. I said this 2 years ago on a video. And I've never been on Lennon's Facebook. I don't know what his Facebook looked like. I ain't never been over there for me to even know that he had that conversation about that. That is amazing. Amazing. Yes, I am definitely going to go over a lot of his videos, and I'm going to break that shit down for y'all. I'm going to break that all the way down. You said, was the Watchtower more accepting of East Coast music since it was based in NYC? Hell no. Hell fucking no. It was just less subtle. It was more subtle. So, well, to us, to my pops, right? It was probably more subtle. But it was just the stuff that you heard. It was just a difference. I think y'all know the differences in East Coast, West Coast rap, right? So it was just the differences at the time. We're talking about the Dr. Dre, the Snoop Dogg. We're talking about the Eazy-E compared to EPMD, PM Dawn. These are people that were more woke, right? Even the LLs wasn't as, well, he got more raunchy, but they weren't as raunchy as what was happening over on the West Coast. So I really think I don't think they cared which one it was, but no, I think that they definitely had a problem with NWA, and I think they had an article about gangster rap. I'm gonna look for it. I think it was in the Young People Ask book. And if it was, Lenon is around my age, and he would have been at all of those conventions when that stuff came out. And so I could see him most definitely talking about NWA and anything like that. You said, hey, Slander God, I'm good, laying low. You said, hey, the Diggable. You said, well, T-Prick, child, I'm telling you. You said, I see. Yeah, you said, I see. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. And you said, Miss T, the same way we listened to Richard Pryor in the basement. Yes. Or Red Fox. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Like, you said, I feel it, Sparkle, but the streets miss you. Or even Andrew Dice Clay. He was a white guy. But y'all remember Andrew Dice Clay? We wasn't allowed to listen to that shit. Shit, I wasn't allowed to watch Three's Company, y'all. Okay? Like, that's how my life was growing up. Okay? I had to sneak and watch that shit, man. You said add this to it. He was born premature and needed a no. bite my L on that one. Add to this, he was born premature and needed a blood transfusion. What do Jehovah's Witnesses say about blood transfusions? I would like to know if he got the blood transfusion. I'm pretty sure if the family, if his mother and father were devout witnesses, I'm sure he did not. And I would wonder, or he did, and he had become a ward of the state. Like, I really want to know how that turned out. I really, really want to know. Now you're gonna have me digging for some information. I'm gonna have to go find that. If he's in the on Facebook, I'm gonna go and see if I can join and get that information. You said, didn't Lenon get into it with Professor Griff? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You said dating myself, child. You said, were they already in the organization at that point, chat lives? They would have had to have been if the blood transfusion thing was a thing and he brought that up, then they would have had to have been. And I wonder what came from that. I really, really wonder what came from that. You said, when it also made documentaries, presentations against Public Enemy, against Grandmaster Flash, against Boogie Down Productions, against anything black. And I know why now. I'm telling you, I get it. I get it. This is the household he grew up in. This is definitely the household he grew up in. You said, Lenon, you said witnesses ain't down with transfusions at all. That is, now nowadays they call it what they say? It's called it's a conscious, you can make a conscious decision about it. So nowadays, because they've been sued so much, and so many people have died, children, so forth. I did a video on this in the past. I showed you guys a Watchtower, an Awake article where they had children as martyrs of the organization on there, and those children had died in the name of not receiving a blood transfusion. How many families had sued the organization over that and won? And how the organization, a lot of money has been depleted from them based off of that and the sex scandal, the S abuse scandals that have been going on in there and what they were charged over with that. All of those things is really depleted their funds. And so now they started making different changes. So they're saying now, well, you can have a blood transfusion, it's a matter of conscience. If you feel like, Jehovah's not going to destroy you, then you can go ahead and do it. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Y'all going to do this now after y'all let all those children? I'm talking about thousands upon thousands upon thousands of children die across the world. Families die, women and men just make conscious decisions while their children are little to not get blood transfusions for themselves and allow themselves to die and leave their children orphaned. Like this kind of shit has happened over... Oh, man. I remember being a child and having that blood card. I remember when I first got it. I remember when I first signed it. I remember when I had it in my wallet. I remember that was the only thing when I was a child that I had in my wallet. I remember being a kid and being young enough to have a wallet just for the blood card. Like, yeah. So that's deep to me. And if he actually did... not get, I just want to know what the outcome was of that situation, like whether he got the blood transfusion, what they did, what happened with that, all that different stuff. But that would be very, very, very interesting. You said, Slander God, I'll stop by your next live. You said, yes, he did, Sparkle. You said, right. You said freedom of conscience. Yeah, something like that. Like they give you the conscious choice now to do these things. They even now are saying something about this, allegedly. I've heard that they're now also saying this about joining the military, which would make sense considering the fact that they are invested in companies like Boeing, right? And other companies that create fighter planes for us. Like, I'm talking about major big companies, okay, that create fighter jets and Navy ships and all kinds of shit. They are invested in those companies. But yet, the average JW has no idea about that. None whatsoever. And those that are dead would turn over in their graves if they knew. You said, I remember that show. You said, we have that principle allegedly in the Southern Baptist Convention. Unless you think it's okay to be gay, then you wrong, just wrong. Uh-huh. Yep. You said that large watchtower in Brooklyn was sold in 2018. It was in 2018, and guess who it was sold to? It was sold to um, Kushner. What's his name? Kushner, Trump's daughter's husband. That's who bought it. Ain't that a bitch, child? You said a car that might have killed you. Lord help us, child. You said this is. I'm telling you, and that's the crazy part about it. Like I could have been in a car accident as a child or anything, and I could have lost blood, and they would have seen that card, and that was supposed to stop them from. They were supposed to just let me die. Like, yeah, as a kid. It's crazy, right? You said this is a good convo, Miss T. Interested in hearing more on this. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely get into that a lot more. You said his father's mother threatened to sue his mother to get custody. And so she agreed to the blood transfusion. He told her, okay. So that's what I was wondering of how that turned out. And that's usually how that turns out. Usually it takes the movement of the earth for a JW parent to get a blood transfusion done on their child. They are willing to let their kid pass away. Literally. They will go with the idea that their child will be resurrected in the new system and they will see their kid again. And that's where they will just let them pass away. Literally, they will, and they've done it multiple times, thousands of times, hundreds of thousands of times. It's sad. It's crazy. You said, Miss T, talk about it. We need to know. Yep, you know it. You know I will. Hey, make a change. I appreciate you. Child, it's really sad. It really, really is. All right, guys, let's get into what happened on Alan's show. But before we get into that, guys, we are going to get into a little bit of this conversation on Shakim Raz this morning because I missed that. I didn't. Well, I'm not really subscribed to him. But he always comes up in my news feed, even though I'd be like, "Don't recommend channel, don't recommend channel." This nigga always coming up in my news feed, and it's probably because he mentions my name or he mentions Black Lounge or whatever he's mentioning. So if that happens, they will come up in your news feed, right? So that is probably why he keeps coming up. But he did a video this morning on Alan Logic needs an intervention, okay? And so we're going to get into that real quick because the only one that needs the intervention is Shakim at this point, okay? We are going to do this under the guise of fair use, which is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which is the allowance made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, and all that good ish, okay? Let's go ahead and get into this, guys, because, child, this nigga crazy. I don't know what the hell is going on with Shakim and what he think this is, but for some reason, he think it's a goddamn joke. He think that, he's just God's gift and that he's got it all together. But we're going to go ahead and do a live reaction to his quote unquote intervention of Alan Logic. And then we are going to go to The Right Show, which is Alan Logic's show. And we're going to go over these points that was made yesterday. Listen, shout out to all of y'all that are in the clouds. Well, I wanted you guys to make sure that y'all are hitting that like button. Y'all don't want to get a like timer, okay? Y'all don't want to get a haters timer out here. So make sure y'all are hitting that like button out here, guys. Truly appreciate y'all. You said my mother-in-law is devout like that. Old school witness, no cuts whatsoever. Yeah, my dad is very, very old school witness. However, he has become I'll say this, he's become a lot less of that as he's gotten older. He's not as devout as he used to be. It's something that I've noticed. It's not that he's not in it. He's not like a PMO. He's not like physically and mentally out or anything. But he wasn't like my grandma was when she passed away. She had no cuts whatsoever. It was no nothing. It was just straight witness, period. Like, period to the Periana. It wasn't nothing else going on in there except witnessing football. That's it. JWs and the Eagles. That's all it was. It was nothing else. Oh, and the family, of course. Shout out to my grandma. Rest her soul. You said, YouTube said you're going to get this, Rod. Like it or not, honey. Okay. We're going to go Rod his business. This nigga always want to talk about me. So let me go ahead and talk about this nigga for real quick. We're going to go ahead and talk about him real quick. You said, I just need a handful of niggas that want to get on code about AAMS and Rev G. Exactly. That's it, right? And it seems like it wouldn't be that difficult considering the fact that these very same people have been stabbing this nigga in the back for the past couple of years. So I'm not really sure, why all of a sudden now he looking for a new set of friends, right? Shout out to Steph for the $10 super chat. Truly appreciate that. You said, wait, did we just engage in religious harassment? Dang, I'm definitely going to lose my law license now. Here's my last $10. Child, no. Hey, you a member. Oh, no. Shout out to Steph. I truly appreciate that. Everybody laughed at Steph. You said make a change the raw part, child. We're going to get into it. Hey, Queen Shay, I appreciate you. Grand rising to you. Appreciate you coming back and coming in the building today. You said logic, You said it was fun while it lasted. You said, oh, well, Starbucks has healthcare, child. You said, don't worry, Steph. I can help you with a new vest. What color you want, babe? She got to get the blue vest like T Free. You know what I mean? She got to get that with the red patches on that vest. Shit. You said the sector will be the sector. You know it. What's up, Knowledge? I appreciate you being in the building. Listen, another one of my day ones. I've been calling out the day ones lately. Sparkle, Knowledge, all these people. Beautiful Bernice. Some people that's been out here for a long time. You said no hate speech here, guy. Don't want to have to block anyone. Child. You said, boy, now Andrea and Rainbow Randy have a new minion to utilize the same one with the 7-Eleven aisle way box that Jermaine Shoemake pumped and dumped after hitting it in one time and never called back. Man, y'all hold on 1 second. I got to play y'all a timer. I'm sorry. I got to help my son. All right, guys. So let's quickly go over some rules of Black Lounge Divine. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys now because I think there is a misunderstanding about some things. All right. I have a large, well, a nice base of people that come from this sector. I also have a base of people that come from other sectors, right? And they come in here and they watch the show. They want to be comfortable in the chat. They want to be able to come out here and hang out and chill and be comfortable doing so. The disrespect of moderators, myself, and my guests will not be tolerated. I don't care if you have a problem with them. You have your own show to talk about those things. Obviously, if you have a account, you can create a show, right? And you can go and talk about whatever you want, wherever you want. Most of the time, I don't be in them spaces. But you don't have the right to come to my channel and disrespect my moderators or disrespect me. If you get blocked because of that, that is your fault and your fault alone, not anybody else's. We are not kids, and I'm not going to treat you like one. So I would appreciate it if you want to be here and you want to comment and you want to be a part of the show. That is not a problem, but you will be respectful. And if you choose not to, you're going to get blocked. And a bitch like me that really don't give a fuck. You already know that. So we're going to move on from there. And shout out to my moderators who are in the chat. I respect my moderators and I respect their decisions. And they don't have to sit and be disrespected by you. And they don't have to allow you to interrupt and disrupt my chat. And that's it. And that is what they're there for. You said, I need a blue one, the beautiful Bernice. You said, peace to Antonio. You said, hey to Alan. You said, damn, Antonio, always calling them out. You said, all right, now you like them. You like the break beats. See, there's a lot of them that like the beats, and they like the little timers and the music and stuff like that. So that's why I do play those things, guys. You said, I got you, sweetie. Blue is my favorite color. Child, mine's too. You said, why not diamond? Is that individual now? She used the whole lie and Facebook messages exchange from 21 to go on infinite demon time on someone that flamed her in the rebuttal. I don't know who you're talking about right now. You said, wait, Rob wants back in with them too? I ain't going to believe it till I see it. I'm not saying he wants to be back in with them, but he's definitely trying to cozy up to breaking the culture of silence. And that is just like, that's like some idiot shit. You know what I'm saying? I could see if he was still as blind to her as we were like a year ago, right? Where we really weren't aware of what was going on with breaking the culture, or at least it wasn't on a widespread, range. We weren't aware of what was going on with her in this sector. But the fact that we know what's up with her, we know that she's a liar. We know that she will go to great lengths to lie on you, to try to ruin things for you. We know that she does this, and we know that she's in cahoots with AAS. Doesn't make sense why he wants to be such buddy with her. And also the fact that she's already tried to fuck him over multiple times, and she's still trying to do it. You said by putting just one text and a meme. You said, fam, any folks out there with folks in the chat doing soliloquy, please 3 sentences or less. Child, just saying. I'm about to make Diggable a moderator over here because he's been over here for a long time with me. So is Crafted Legacy. I appreciate you as well. Shout out to Crafted Legacy. Been with me for a long time. I appreciate you. You said, amen. You said, word, Miss T. Pre. You said, Shakim out here simping with his dumb ass. Okay. You said, I am honestly so confused by that. She said terrible things about that young man, honey. Raw, get out. And she was the one talking about him. It wasn't me. But because he want to be so mad at me, he just wants to be mad at me. That's what it is. It's not really anything. He just literally just wants to be mad at me. So because he just wants to be mad at me, he thinks fucking with her is going to like hurt me, I guess. I don't know. I'm like, bro, you need to really save yourself for real. Because the bitch she ain't going to do shit to me. You said, good morning, BLD and chat. I appreciate you, Woo Child. Shout out to you for being in the building. Everybody saying hi to Woo Child. Everybody go and check out and say hello to one of our new favorite friends. Woo Child is in the building. And Antonio, you said nothing new here, nothing new there, Alan, at least this time. Is a female and not some random males he is doing effeminate simp shit with. He said, nigga that had 3 different YouTube boyfriends in the topic of discussion. Block at one time. Child. You said, Woo Child, hey stranger. Everybody knows Woo Child from over in the T sector, child. That's our baby over there. You said, hey, love, Stephanie Collins. Now, listen, let's go ahead and get into this stuff over here, okay, on Shakim's channel. Now, y'all know I don't fuck with Shakim, but I never will be a hater, okay? I will not be a hater. I'm not going to be the type of person to be like, oh, I don't want y'all looking at this content creator. Don't go over there, you know. No, go ahead and make sure that y'all subscribe. Make sure that y'all check him out. Make sure that y'all share the show. I'm going to go ahead and remove the branding so that you can see Shakim's video. Okay. Bear with me just a moment. All right. So this is Shakim Ra exclusives, guys, for those that don't know him. So I'm not subscribed because I really don't like him. He actually only got 10 likes on this video so far. And that's probably the 10 trolls that be just running around big facts and everything that he likes to say. But either way, let's go ahead and go over this video, guys. It may have more than 10 likes by now, but let's go ahead and go over this video because I have not seen the video yet. So we're going to go ahead and react to this together, okay? And again, shout out to Alan Logic, one of my favorite content creators in here. Also, he is a moderator in my chat and one of my favorite people as well, a good friend of mine, truly. Now, let's go ahead and get into this BS with this princess. Maybe I should go ahead and put up that banner. We're going to go ahead and use the Princess Reactions banner today instead of Sector News, okay? We're going to do Princess Reactions with Shay Shay Ra this morning, all right, y'all? Princess Reactions with the Shay Shay this morning. And shout out to Shay Shay. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get started under fair use.
The Amen Ra podcast is now available on Apple Podcasts.
We have a whole lot to discuss.
Hold on. We're going to move up a little bit.
Take it upon yourself.
Hold on. We're going to
Your
move
first
up a
time
bit.
seeing my face or hearing my voice, you may as well take it upon yourself to go ahead and hit that like button. And you may as well take it upon yourself to go ahead and hit that subscribe button too, because I drop videos like this every single day. So
let's touch on that for a second. First of all, you ain't dropping videos like this every single day. You need to stop saying that, okay? Second of all, the videos that you do drop mostly are trash, okay? Or they're just about somebody in this sector. You never want to go outside of this sector, go to any other major content creators outside of Andrew Caldwell, who literally keeps striking your shit, and partially why you don't have half of the channels you used to have. But we're going to go ahead and keep going.
We have a whole lot to discuss regarding Alan Logic and his display yesterday. So backing up here, folks, giving you a little bit of history here. When Alan Logic first came around, he actually was on the side of Anti-Afro and Rev G. He actually attacked me without knowing all the details, without knowing all the facts, without having all the information. He decided to jump out the window for AAS and Rev G, only to turn around 3 to 4 months later and do a 180 and then expect the sector to sympathize and empathize with him because he felt attacked and abused by Anti-Afro Rev and Rev G. Now, fast forward another 6.
Wait a minute. I ain't built no bridge with that nigga. I went up there and told that nigga how the hell. We're going to get to what I said. Okay, we're going to actually get to what I said. But it wasn't no bridge built. As a matter of fact, Alan said that, and I was like, no. I wasn't building any bridges at all. I was just telling him about himself. That was it. But we're going to go ahead and continue. And shout out to you. I am human first. I appreciate you coming in the building, bro. Peace to you.
6 or 7 months later, I usually only take people's wrenches if they do something specifically that is harmful or non-productive to my channel. So when I went backstage yesterday while I was live, Slander God let me know that you blocked him and put him in timeout. Now I find it funny that you came up here and the first thing you was talking about was a wrench. You didn't greet me, you didn't talk to me, you didn't really have a dialogue with me as far as, how you been, what have you been up to, any of that. You actually, I went back and listened to it. The only thing you came up here to do was to get a wrench. But I took your wrench for a reason. And I remember that reason now. So I've taken your wrench again because I don't take people's wrenches for no goddamn reason. There's always a reason. There's always a method to the madness. There is always a justification for my actions and what I do. So,
all right, so far I am very confused. I hear something about a wrench and somebody's wrenches and somebody's bitches. I don't know what's going on. Let's go ahead and keep going.
with all of that being said, you came up here trying to defend defrauding, and then you ran to your show that night and you had a whole lot to say. And I don't think you were joking because the shit that you were saying was the same shit I've heard other people say in terms of you trying to say that I'm a liar, I lie about everything, and everything else that you said before I got on the panel. Now, all of that is fine and dandy.
Well, wait a minute. You said a lot of people saying it. So what's the problem?
I don't give a damn what you think about me. But my thing is, don't smile in my face and come to my show and be a moderator and do all of that and then be talking shit. And I catch you talking shit.
This is what you do all the time.
Not-
you Shaquem. This is the thing about some of these people who get on here, right? They feel like talking shit is a one-way street. Like you just get to put all these different females and whatnot. Like, let me go ahead and show y'all real quick. Let me take Shaquem face off of here real quick. Let's take his branding off. Yeah, I always keep his branding up here just in case, you know what I'm saying? Because we always got to end up talking about this nigga. He got all these women on his thumbnails. Like he got literally one thing about something about whatever that is regarding Kemet, and then he got all these women that he want to talk shit about on a thumbnail. But yeah, now he want to talk, he think it's a one-way street. So when a nigga talks shit about him, he literally loses his shit.
I'm not that type of person.
What you mean
I don't talk shit about my friends or...
What do you mean you're not that type of person? You don't talk shit about your friends. You literally spilled all of Nikki business to the whole fucking sector. And that was not anybody's business. Nobody had told nobody any of that shit. Nobody told Breaking the Culture any of that shit. You told the sector that shit. Cut your shit, Shaquem.
Or the people I'm cool with publicly. I may diss you or talk shit about you privately, but publicly, you will never see me get up here and talk shit about certain people. You just won't see. You
cannot be serious, right?
And I also don't need alcohol or apple juice or whatever, piss. I don't need any of that to tell you about your damn self.
Whoa, bro. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do we quickly forget how soon we motherfucking forget out this bitch? Do y'all remember? Do we remember all the nights that Shaquem was live talking about Flacco, talking about the good guys left him, talking about Ghost didn't want him anymore. Ghost was no longer his daddy. D. Darrell was no longer his daddy, and how sad he was that the good guys had left him on the side of the road. And how many people were buying him Hennessy and cigarettes every single time he had the whole bottle. He would be taking the bottle to the fucking face on live. Do we quickly, how quickly we fucking forget Cinderella? But we're going to go ahead and let your bitch ass continue.
I can tell you about yourself sober, high, drunk, whatever. But 99% of the time, you're going to get a sober Shakim Rock, just like you're getting right now. So, with that being said,
1% of the time that you have been a content creator, you have been sober, which is now. The other 99% of the time, you've been drunk as fuck, my nigga. I'm just letting you know. You've been drunk as fuck.
I just really can't fuck with you at all. Like, I realized I'm not fucking with Logic at all. He is not welcome on this show.
Good morning, Keisha. Yesterday. I appreciate you. Grand Rising.
I will not be going to a show to boost his numbers. I will not be indulging his fuck shit anymore. Because even during my conversation with him, when I was trying to explain to him how defrauding doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, he was talking about a whole nother issue. It's like he is obsessed with race for no goddamn reason, because he don't like black women like that. The only black woman he appears to like is T. Pre. So I just find it interesting that.
So that is the problem. That's the problem right there. You have a problem with anybody that supports T. Pre. That's the problem. It's not the fact that Alan has anything or Alan has an issue or Alan is this or Alan is that. You have an issue with the fact that Alan supports me, which is stupid. Alan can support whoever the fuck he wants to. He's a grown-ass man, and he's not fucking you. So it don't matter who he supports. But that's your feelings towards me. That's your emotions of wanting to always compete with women all the time, okay? I mean, let's remove the branding so we can see. Like I said, you always want to put me in somebody's thumbnail or put Carrie Ann in somebody's thumbnail or Nikki or Eyes Antonia. How many women are there that you have gone in on for various reasons, for stupid fucking reasons, and want to constantly drag these women? But as soon as a man, a real man, gets up and tells you about yourself, you crumble like a fucking gingerbread house. You lose your fucking mind. You act like you can't understand why anybody is talking about you. How could this happen? Oh my God.
This was the straw that broke the camel's back, like literally. So I'm in the middle of talking to him, right? Because I was already going to drop down because I wasn't feeling the conversation. It was a drunk, babbling mess. Like, it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't mature. It was very much shallow race baiting. And I wasn't feeling it. So I was about to drop down. Then he's like, oh no, don't drop down. Don't drop down. If you drop down, it's going to be, 20 or 30 less people here. Right? So that was the reason you wanted me to stay on the show. Because it wasn't to have a conversation with me. It wasn't to actually listen to what I was trying to tell you, that defrauding is the one that started calling the authorities first. You didn't want to hear none of that shit. And then.
Thank you, Alan. I truly appreciate the $20 super chat. You said this is an undeniable, unambiguous super chat. Facts. Thank you, sir. I really, really appreciate your support, and I truly appreciate you as a friend as well. We're going to go ahead and continue with this dumb shit.
When I told you that Nikki actually reached out to Breaking the Culture, you want to act so surprised. Like it was such a shocker. But everybody over here already knew that. You're the only one that didn't know that. So why are you over here defending Nikki and defending T. Pre and doing all of this simping and all of this bitch ass, bitch boy shit?
So it's bitch boy because he's choosing not to call us bitches, disrespect us, try to run bullshit narratives and shit through the fucking sector about us. You done put Photoshop pictures of me up. You done Photoshop pictures of Carrie Ann. You done did all types of shit to Nikki. Photoshop pictures of her. Photoshop pictures of Eyes Antonia. You done did so many fucking things to women. and that you think in your warped mind that behaving that way is normal, and a man telling you about your bitch ass self is the simp. He's the bitch. He's the bitch nigga. He's the one that needs to be checked. But you get checked and you can't understand why you being checked. But yet you want to be out here and you wonder why your Kemet information and the Kemet information that you try to put out and the spiritual information you try to put out barely gets any views and doesn't have any type of, any type of positive impact because of the space that you come from. Like, you need to start evaluating yourself while you're coming at this grown man and the other grown men that protect and support the Black women in this space, such as Alan, such as D. Durrell, and many other Black men. But you always got a problem with these men because they support us, because you don't. So what if you choose not to? Everybody else does not have to feel the way you feel. That's that JW group thinking again.
For women that you will never even touch. You didn't even know all the information, right?
It's
Just like
always safe
it was
here,
in the
R&T.
beginning.
Peace to you. I
When
appreciate you being in the building. Shout out to R&T Entertainment. Y'all make sure y'all go over and subscribe for the front porch Fridays, because yes, it is safe here for R&T.
You started talking shit about me off the strength of you being Reb G's bitch. Now, the kicker for me was I was in the middle of a statement about the ancestors, right? And Alan Logic was like, "Oh yeah, the ancestors calling me too. I gotta go. That's the show." So I'm like, "Okay, bye, bro. Have a good show. Bye. I guess the show's over, right?" Turn around. An hour later, the nigga's still live, and he got T. Pre and Josephine on the panel. That's when I knew I cannot fuck with this nigga. I can't.
See? You are mad because this man had T. Pre and Josephine on the platform. So what? You have your own platform. If you choose not to have the women on the platform, if you choose to use your platform to drag Black women, to talk shit about Black women, to go in on Black women, and you think every real Black man is going to follow you in that manner, that's on you, sir. But that does not mean every real Black man is going to feel the way you do. And they are going to give the women a voice and an opportunity to speak, which is what we're about to get into when we get over this bullshit.
Because, instead of asking me to get off the panel like a man would, he pretended like he was ending the show, only to turn around and keep the show going for like another 2 hours. Like, nigga, did you think I wouldn't notice? Did you think I wasn't going to say nothing? Did you think?
Why did you think it mattered? Why did you think you being on the panel, looking at the show, getting back on the panel, or any of that was relevant? Like, why do you think maybe he had something he thought he had to do, which is what I thought was going on, and then he decided to continue the show. And he has the right to do that because it's his goddamn show. The fuck are you talking about?
Like, I just didn't notice anything.
Niggas really be thinking they that goddamn important. They is not that important, and they really think they important like that.
Like, I don't have two eyes. I don't know. But honestly, the entire delivery of Alan Logic yesterday was trash. It was a drunk, babbling, race-baiting series of trash after trash after trash, from my chat room all the way to his chat room. So I just came up here to let y'all know.
So the show was trash, according to you. So much trash that you knew how long the show was. You stayed and watched everything that everybody said. You knew who was on the panel. You knew everything that was going on with the show, but the show was such trash. It was just trash. Everything was trash. When everything is trash to me on somebody's channel, okay, I just don't watch them. Like, I literally don't watch them, okay, if they're fucking trash, bro.
What I dealt with yesterday, and I think it's time that the sector had an intervention. if you have a drinking problem, if you got to get drunk to talk shit about me, if you got to get drunk to talk your shit about anybody, then maybe, just maybe, you have a drinking problem.
Okay, well, I'm glad that if you decided to finally stop drinking whole fifths on your live streams, right, and getting drunk and crying to the sector, literally crying tears to the sector over a man, okay, who just doesn't want to be your friend, right? If that is the case, then maybe you do need the intervention. But having a drink on the side here and there while you live, or lighting up a L while you live, I don't see anything wrong with that, especially if this man is working and taking care of his business, handling his family, and he not out here showing y'all his paychecks, spending all his money, throwing his money at bitches and all this other shit. You the one doing that shit. This is you. This ain't him. So I think he got his shit together. Do you? You the one talking about your debit cards is declining when you go into restaurants and shit in Brooklyn. You the one that's got all type of shit going on. You the one that's got to have somebody let you sleep on an air mattress. But you talking about this man. Fuck out of here.
And it's not even a good drunk, like where you're actually funny and hilarious and all of that. It was just the same tired race baiting bullshit that you repeat over and over and over. And what's funny is this motherfucker ain't even married to a black woman. This motherfucker pretends to like black women. Like, I don't understand. You pretended to end your show so you could pretend to talk to.
How do people get to a point where they tell you how you're feeling? They're telling, that is a real illness where you feel like you have to observe someone and you don't allow them to tell you how they feel. You tell them how they feel. That's some very narcissistic bullshit. Like, you're telling this man he's pretended to do this so he can pretend to do that. And then he can pretend. No, this is all the pretending fantasy land bullshit going on in your head that you're projecting on this man. No, he didn't have to pretend anything to you. Who the fuck are you, Shakem? Like, really, I want you to stop for a second and think about it. Who the fuck are you that a nigga got to pretend some shit for a bitch ass nigga like you? Who are you? But we're going to go ahead and let you keep going. While you think about that, we're going to let you keep going.
Black women. Like, make it make sense, people.
Yeah, make it make sense.
So it's just weird. It's strange. It's odd. And it's hypocritical, actually, for you to be trying to tell me who's black and who's not black. Like, you don't get to define black based on skin tone or nose size or any of that shit.
You know it.
Because, like, I was trying to educate your dumb ass yesterday that there's plenty of black people that have a white parent. And there's plenty of black people that have a white parent. So, again, if you were alive with your motherfucking race.
All right, so he's talking about, for anybody that's confused, he's talking about Alan Logic, okay? He's talking shit about Alan and going in on Alan because him and Alan did a show last night, okay? Alan did a panel. We're about to go over that panel. And Shakim got on the panel, and Shakim was basically looking stupid as fuck, going along with some fuck shit about Rev G, okay? So we're going to get into that in just a second. I apologize if y'all are confused, but y'all will be fully caught up by the time y'all hear Alan's show, okay? So let's go ahead and let this fool continue, guys.
Scale, you will be trying to tell me in the 1800s, right, that Du Bois ain't black, or that Booker T. Washington ain't black, and that all of these great black people that have actually done something for the world and actually written books and done shit ain't black because they got a white daddy. So I'm going to tell you one time, don't come around me with that fake shit. Don't smile in my face and key.
Oh, okay. Right.
And then run to your show and talk shit.
Right, Stephanie. He's just adding all this crap that has nothing to do with the show, nothing to do with anything. Like, he's acting like something's wrong with him in his mind if he thinks that Alan just continued the show because he wanted to wait till Shakim wasn't there. Like, I don't know why he would think that. You know what I mean? It's a public show. It's not like he had it private. It's not like it was a members only or something. Anybody could have watched this show. He didn't care about that. Alan is not scared of Shakim Ra. Like, I don't know why he thinks so, but we're going to go ahead and let Shakim's dusty ass continue. He almost
The
done, y'all.
moment you get 2 sips of liquor in your motherfucking cup. Because I'm going to treat you the same way that I would treat you sober is the same way that I'm going to treat you high and drunk. I'm not going to treat you any different. If I feel some type of way about you, I will let you know. But I've actually done nothing but show you respect, and actually was one of the few people left in the sector that actually had any respect for you.
That's not true. And that's the part we're gonna break that down for a second. That's incorrect. Okay, that is a myth, and that is not true. Shakim is so stuck on what he sees in front of him. He never can see the bigger picture of things. Okay, let me give you guys an example of that. There's only a certain select amount of people that are in the chat room. We're kind of chatting back and forth. We're hanging out, but there is literally 60 people in the clouds. Okay. So I know that there are 60 people that are watching this show, but they are not all interacting all at the same time. Everybody's not going to say something. Everybody's not going to hit the like button. Everybody's not going to agree with what I'm talking about. Some of them might be screen recording what I'm talking about. There might be all kinds of stuff going on. Okay. But the bottom line is, just because it appears that there is some trolls in your chat room talking shit and rah, yeah, woo, woo, and sending you super chats and sending you cash apps and all this stuff, does not mean most of the sector feels this way. It just means the people that fuck with you agree with you. And that's just what it is. And you got to learn the difference, okay? Everybody has their own core audience. Everybody has people that fuck with them and don't, okay? And that's just that. That's just the world of being a content creator, okay? But the bottom line is, you don't get to just, decide who likes who and who doesn't like who. You don't get to decide who supports who and who doesn't support who simply because you don't like them. And it's not even because you be not liking people. You just don't be liking what people say. You think it's okay that you get to say whatever you want to say, right? You get to feel whatever you want to feel. But as soon as somebody else says it, as soon as somebody else says something about you or gives you the same energy as them, or gives you the same energy as you give, right? Then you want to be in your bag. And what I get from Alan, and why you feel like he should have all this respect for you, is because you think that all men are abusive. You think that all men are disrespectful. And when they're not, you can't understand it. You don't get it. That's how your pops was. That's why. Your pops is super disrespectful, was abusive to your mother, which you've already said publicly. So it's not like I'm telling your business. But your pops was abusive. He was abusive to you, abusive to your mom. And so you think every man is supposed to be like your pops. And if they're not like your pops, you can't understand it. And you want to go in and call them this and call them that, and you can't respect them and all this other stuff, because how dare a man stand up for a black woman? That makes him weak in your eyes. That makes him a not shit nigga, because that's what your pops taught you. But you need to do something about that, because at this point, you too old for that shit. Thank God you don't have no daughters or no sons yet. But before you do, you need to get that in order. And that's facts. You don't even hear yourself. You don't even hear how ridiculous you sound.
Honestly. So anybody over there fucking with Alan Logic, y'all on your own. I would not be defending that nigga. If he's getting dragged, the DBA gets dragged. Y'all can claim the DBA. I've never claimed no damn DBA.
And again, I want to say something about that. This sector, the whole DBA, right? Just like the lounge, right? can go in a whole nother direction. So whoever doesn't, quote unquote, fuck with the DBA are only people in this sector. It's not anywhere else. Okay. Y'all are not big enough to cancel anybody. This sector, none of us in this sector are big enough collectively to cancel any other content creators. It's just not happening. No matter how bad y'all want that to happen, it's just not going to happen. So you feeling like I'm not fucking with anybody that fucks with him, and I'm not this and I'm not that. Like, you're not hurting him. Okay? You're just not. You're really, really not. Y'all just don't understand.
Claim the DBA. I'm not no whatever of that shit. No way. No way. Because this is not what men do. This is little boy behavior. So.
What?
And I didn't forget.
Wait a minute. This right here is little boy behavior. The inability to take a constructive criticism from anybody is little boy behavior. Not just anybody, but from somebody who really was giving you really good constructive criticism is in little boy behavior. That's exactly what you're doing. This is a whole 12 hours later that you've decided to do a live stream on some really good advice that you got yesterday. Okay? This is little boy behavior.
About that bitch ass shit you did to P either.
He didn't do anything to P.
Or...
Wait a minute. We're going to stop. I'm going to stop you right there. He did not do anything to P. So Alan does not have control over what anybody else does, just like you don't, right? So what you're not going to do is make what Josephine decided to do, hopping on his panel and talking shit to P about somebody else. That is not Alan's problem. And Alan corrected that situation. But this is the kind of stuff you do. You got to have a whole bunch of people rallying behind you. You got to have somebody. You can't stand 10 toes on your own shit. If you have a problem with Alan, you have a problem with Alan on your own. P don't have to have a problem with Alan. And P is a grown-ass 60-plus-year-old man. And guess what? P was in his chat last night, enjoying himself. And he's going to continue to go to his chat like everybody else will. You don't have control over that. But for some reason, you think you do. You think that if you talk enough shit about somebody and you buy enough views on a video, you think everybody else is going to stop fucking with them too. And you haven't been successful with me on that. You haven't been successful with, you're not going to be successful with Alan on that. And you're not going to be successful with anybody else on that either. And that's just that. Like I said, you don't run the sector. You don't run what everybody does. And you don't make anybody do any motherfucking thing. So you mentioning P and what happened with Josephine and P has nothing to do with Alan. But that's what you always do. You got to have 50 people behind you agreeing with what you're saying. And you think you can do that through persuasion. That fucking JW bullshit.
Or put it under the bridge or whatever. But I did not forget about that bitch ass shit you did to P. And those little subliminal shots you took at P when he was talking shit about Nikki. And
he didn't take no shots at P. And P don't have a problem with him. If you have a problem with him, bitch, you have a problem with him. Why do you need to stand up for another man? That man don't need you to stand up for him. If he got a fucking problem with that man, he could tell that man his motherfucking self. He don't need your pussy ass doing it. Because guess what? In real life, you wouldn't be able to do a motherfucking thing. So it'd be a bitch like you. I'll leave it home.
And I didn't forget how you allowed this bitch, Josephine, to come up on the panel and interrupt a conversation between two men. Of course that nigga
buying views. You don't think that nigga buying views? Nobody's paying attention to what the fuck the Shot Kim is talking about no more. We don't even got that many people in this sector watching this type of content. Shot Kim don't talk about anything but this sector. I could see if he was talking about other things and other sectors and he was bringing that heat to his channel and then he had that many people watching his shit, he's fucking lying. Shot Kim is buying every fucking time. And if he ain't doing it, he got somebody else doing it. Because you can buy views for people. Yes, you can. Yes. So, yep, I think he buying them. You said, why do these trolls think I give a shit? I'm here to see the troll of AAMS and Rev G. After that, I'm taking my page down. Exactly. I remember you saying that. You said exactly, T Pre. Hey, oh dear, what's happening? You said exactly, T Pre. You said, hey, You said he paid me $3.50. Child. Let's go ahead and keep going with this bullshit. He only got a couple more minutes.
And you just sat there
I can't believe
while
this
she
pussy
said,
ass nigga just
well,
cried
P,
like
why did
this.
you call Nikki a hoe? And your bitch ass just gonna sit there and say, hey, P, you got Josephine's number? Like, nigga.
No, he did not. He said, Josephine, you don't have P's number? And Joe was like, no, I don't. He said, well, you need to get it because this show is not about that. And he was right on doing that. He wasn't disrespectful. He didn't decide to call her a bunch of bitches and talk a bunch of shit and call her out her name. And that is what you're mad about. You're mad that he didn't go off like your bitch ass dad does. You mad that he didn't go off like your bitch ass does and talk shit about her and go off and snap. Because that's what you expect. Because that's the type of bitch ass nigga you are. No, he handled that the right way. And he told her, this is not the appropriate time, and you will need to talk about this at another time. And he was right. And she did that. And she came back and apologized for it. While you out here still talking about something that happened a couple months ago and P isn't even worried about. Like he needs your pussy ass up here talking for him. Niggas, put a 1 in the chat if you would ever let Shakim fight for you. How about that? Let's see how many ones we get. Put a 1 in the chat if you would let Shakim fight for you in real motherfucking life. Fuck this nigga. Let's go ahead and keep going.
Nobody has done
Let's see how many
more
ones we
simping
get.
and more bitch assness in this sector than you. And that is why
you can't even
channel
say the word
is
bitch
dead.
assness.
That is
You said bitch assness. Yeah, nigga, I would never take you to a fucking fight. I wouldn't even take you to a fight with a fucking fruit fly, okay? Bitch assness. Like, listen how you fucking talking. Pussy ass nigga. You out here put a 1 in the chat if you want this nigga to fight for you. Pussy ass nigga.
why your
Let's see how
channel
many ones
ain't growing. And that is why you should learn that being a simp gets you nowhere in life, especially not with men. Men will never respect you for being a bitch, and women won't respect you for being a bitch either. So that's really all I got to say. And I don't got to harp on you. I don't got to beat you down. I don't got to talk about you all day. But I will talk about you during my show this weekend.
What's
because
up,
you earned
Godfather?
it
Seconds
with
TV.
your behavior and your fucking hypocrisy and just your energy in general. It's very erratic. It's not.
So far, we ain't get no one, Shakim. Ain't nobody vouching for you, bitch. You bitch assness. Your bitch assness.
I remember why I stopped going to your show. Let me just put it like that. Like there was a reason I stopped going to your show because your energy did not resonate with me in the terms of trying to equate everything to race and skin color as if every black person is on your side, as if somebody is half black that suddenly they're not worth anything.
Yeah, you got a
As
1.
if
You got a 1. You get a 1. You get a 1. Crafted Legacy would let Shakim's bitch assness fight for him. Okay, we gonna go with that. Somebody had to give you a 1. Somebody had to do it. Okay. Shout out to Crafted Legacy, my baby. You know I love my babies out here. Shout out to D. Darrell, the Godfather, for the $49.99 super chat. You said you are on fire this morning. Give it to him. You know it. You know it. This nigga always want to talk about me. We gonna talk about the princess today. Okay, I didn't even know the nigga was talking about me. That's the crazy part about it. But since this bitch assness want to talk about me, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to this bitch ass nigga. Okay, we got to change the way we say bitch ass. You know, we got to say bitch assness. Okay, we got to say it like that. Okay. Well, shout out to Darrell. I truly appreciate that. You said hey to Miss Murph. And Miss Murph, what's happening? I appreciate you being in the building too. let's go ahead and get back into this, y'all. We almost done. He only got like a minute left.
You know everything there is to know about white supremacy when you don't know a damn thing. Honestly. So I'm done. That's all I got to say. Like I said.
All right. So basically, guys, what he's mad about is the fact that Alan was trying to explain to him that him being in cahoots with breaking the culture of silence would also put him in cahoots with AAS, also put him in cahoots with Rev G, okay, which are the biggest enemies of the sector, including Shakem, okay? So why he would want to be in bed with this woman is what Alan Logic was basically telling him, okay? So we're going to get into Alan's show now. Fuck Shakem and what he got to say, because we know he's a bitch ass nigga anyway. And we're just going to go ahead and get right into Alan's show. Make sure, I'm going to show you guys who Alan Logic is, what you're going to do about it. Alan, if you can put a link to your video or into your channel in my description box, so or in the comment section, or one of the mods or yourself. That way, everybody knows how to get to you. I'm going to go ahead and remove this branding because nobody want to keep looking at this nigga face. But let me go ahead and show you guys Alan's channel. All right. So this is what you're going to do about it. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you hit the like button and make sure that you share the show out as well. We do have him at about 188 subscribers. We are trying to get him up there. And he is doing a lot of work on a lot of stuff regarding race and stuff that we should be talking about as Black people. Okay. And so I want you guys to go over there and subscribe to him and make sure that you're getting that information. But we are going to get right into some topics where Shakem got on the panel. Okay. And this was crazy. I know, Alan, you don't mind, but I am going to play this under fair use. So let me play that real quick. But again, I know he doesn't mind. But we're going to get right into this stuff, y'all, because there was a lot of great topics that came up, Alan, that Alan brought up to him and that Shakem said that I thought was crazy, y'all. Okay, so y'all just listen to this nigga Shakem. So I'm going to let Alan cook for a second and then bring Shakem on the panel. All right. Bear with me one moment.
I get it again, nigga. It's not. That's what real niggas do. Oh shit! Oh my lord! There you go. What's crack? What's crack? Rob, the link is dropped, man. Here, the link is dropped.
Okay. I'm gonna have somebody.
Man, come on over. Come on over and get some of this ism from your big nigga, man. Come on. But anyway, yeah, like I'm saying, you got all these stories. You got all these stories and shit out here. And when it comes to biracial, man, the shit only goes one way. If it's a Black person involved,
y'all niggas, that's crazy. It. What's up, LV?
That's all you got. Oh, DeFraud says what I said was clear as fuck. USA Jobs, where we get into federal work, has those type of jobs, extremely specialized on educational prerequisites. Yeah, look, DeFraud, and you hit the link too. You and Shakem both hit the link. Man, let's have this conversation, man. I think it's very important to have in the sector, especially amongst so much bullshit. Like when niggas have to keep shit running off of just nothing, sound bites, bullshit, clips. You got Pillsbury running around this motherfucker hitting every panel. Oh, let me give a shout out to CE Conscious Energy. Thanks for building the bridge with me, man. Salute to you too, sir. Like I said, I apologized in the other live about the Black Snake Moan and all that other shit, man. But yeah, salute to you. What up, Rob?
What's good? What's good?
We chilling, man. Thanks for coming in. You know you are the Shakem Ra exclusive arm of the DBA. We appreciate you, man.
Right. I mean, I'm trying to be, but you know, you calling me a bitch, and I'm confused because, like, I didn't.
You call me a simp, nigga.
You are simping, nigga. Like, come on, bro.
How am I simping?
You ain't okay. You were the only chat room to say, let's not talk bad about Nikki. Let's not talk bad about Miss T. Pre. Everybody in the sector has two eyes and two ears, except you when it comes to women. So if you're gonna act like that, then
But again, here's that everybody in the sector has 2 eyes and 2 ears, and everybody in the sector has a problem with these women. No, you have a problem with us. You have a problem with the women, and you are talking shit, and people watch sometimes. But most of that shit is wild. Most of that shit is bought. But we gonna go ahead.
I might call you a simp, but it don't mean that I'm dissing you or I'm saying, you know, you a bitch the way you just called me a bitch and a liar and a
Well, that don't mean I'm dissing you. That don't mean I'm dissing you, man.
You called me a bitch.
I know, but it was in a friendly type of way, man. It was in like an endearment type of way.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
To be fair, Alan, calling somebody a bitch, like I guess women could call, be like, hey, bitch, or something like that. But you was like, this bitch has. That is not a term of endearment, but we're gonna go ahead and let you cook though.
Yeah. It's not like it's not like you a goddamn grown snitch and a pillhead, nigga. No.
You said I'm a liar and I lie about everything. Like the one thing
you was lying about me being a simp, nigga.
Okay, so let's just agree to disagree on that.
Okay.
If you feel like you're not simping for T Pre and Nikki and Josephine and all the women that you come across, then you're more than welcome to feel that way. But sometimes people need to tell you, sometimes it take another man to tell you how things look, right? So
yeah, that's cool. I mean, I ain't got no problem.
When you told me I was simping, I'd be like, damn, I didn't fell off.
So again, this is this idea in your mind that a man being kind to women and not disrespecting them like you are is making him a simp. Like this is somehow simping, if he supports these women and he's not disrespectful, right? He's not slapping them in the face like your dad did, right? He's not doing all this crazy shit, pistol whipping bitches and shit like your pops. Like that's not him, but everybody's supposed to be like you and your pops, right? No, but it's not the whole sector. It's you. You don't see that. You don't understand that your behavior is questionable and crazy.
I'm simping for T Pre.
Well, I want to know that.
How many times did y'all hear this nigga mention my name today? How many motherfucking times did T Pre come out this nigga name today?
And how was I simping because I was showing Miss T Pre support?
Because so you and defrauding was up here.
Listen to
black
this.
Women
Listen
this.
to this.
And how dare people talk about black women in this way? But have you heard the things that have came out of that woman's mouth? She got.
Hold on, Sha. I want to say this before you get started. I just need to put this out here for anybody who hasn't heard.
I kind of wish you had let him cook on that one because I wanted to hear what his excuse was and what I allegedly have said that would bring him to this level. Like that I wanted to hear that.
But I think the whole sector was over at your spot today, as they should be. And I want to see you continue to blow up, man. But listen, I'm talking about niggas that we have not seen, that we don't know if they are black or they are not. Now, you've never heard me the whole time you and Miss T Pre were going back and forth. You never heard me say anything about you. The whole time you were doing shows on Nikki, you never heard me say anything except I'm not going to discuss Nikki on my page because that's what I chose to do. But as far as you speaking on anybody, man, you look, you have free reign. You are a black person and you cam up in this motherfucker and you put your whole shit out here for the world to see, bro. That's no problem for me. But when you got niggas like a slander or breaking the culture of silence and a DJ Drama running around using Miss T Pre for fodder, nigga, yeah, I got to say something. I don't consider that simping. I consider that being true to the undeniable, unambiguous black folks of the sector. Now, is that true or false, do you think?
Well, I don't judge people based off whether they're undeniably or unambiguously black, because just because you're black on the skin level, it don't mean we kinfolk. And with T Pre was more than willing to throw me, a fully black man, under the bus so she could fly off into the sunset with breaking the culture.
The fuck are you talking about? I'm not in a relationship with either one of you motherfuckers. What the fuck are you talking about? I wanted to throw him under the bus. What bus did I throw you under? What are you talking about, Shakim? You are the one that first went live with the situation on a Shout Into the Void, right? After that situation was over, I came to you and I talked to you about the situation. Me and you talked, me and Breaking the Culture talked, and me and Breaking the Culture were already starting to fall out. And she ended up telling some story, half of a story of a situation that I mentioned to her. I didn't throw you under no bus. You got out here in the sector telling all your fucking business. Now let's go ahead and keep going.
When it was a thought that podcast would actually become something. So you have to be careful with that logic because.
No, wait a minute. Listen.
You wanted to get up on that panel so bad at the time because he was literally making up shit. And I ended up getting on the panel. So you guys will see. But I'm saying he was literally just making up shit as we go along. Like as if the sector hasn't been there through this whole fucking ride. This is why Breaking the Culture suddenly want to take her channel in another direction because everything that this bitch has said about the podcast and about me is turning out to be lies that could be easily debunked by her own videos.
You didn't hear what I said. Shakim. I didn't have a problem with your criticism of Miss T. Pre.
I heard you.
Because you are undeniable, unambiguously black. I've got a problem with anybody criticizing black folks when we don't know what these motherfuckers are.
Okay.
Can we get can we get that straight?
I mean, I feel like, yes, I could agree with you on that level, but in terms of Breaking the Culture, we know she's Nigerian and Sicilian.
No, brother, Breaking the Culture is not a black person. She doesn't look like a black.
I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Breaking the Culture is not Nigerian. Her mother is not a Nigerian woman. And I dare Breaking the Culture to prove to y'all that her mother is a Nigerian woman. I have proof that her mother is not. And no, Breaking the Culture is not Nigerian. Just to let y'all know. Yep, I said it. Now prove me wrong.
Black person. Does she look like black people that you've seen?
She doesn't have to. There's plenty of black women that look like her. Come on,
bro. If you don't look like a black person, you don't get treated like a black person, man.
Okay, so if you are anything other than white and you take your ass to certain places, you're telling me you can't.
I don't give a fuck about the hierarchy in the non-black world. She doesn't get treated like a black person. How hard is that to understand?
I mean, I don't know how she gets treated, but at the end of the day, she has a black mother. So I'm not gonna take that away from her. Just like I wouldn't say.
Well, don't take
light skin plus Wi-Fi equals malfunction. You said, fam, I'm just saying, what did these folks do that was so wrong? YouTube missteps, please. You said, what page we on? I need one official story. Okay, so right now we are on Shakim basically trying to explain why he thinks all black women should be disrespected and why the men should be disrespectful to these women. You said, Miss Murph, I'm bringing back the sports, been busy. Okay. You said, what? Yeah, she ain't Nigerian. And I got that from somebody on the inside. Mm-hmm. You said, hey, Sparkle. You said, understandable drama. I'm looking forward to it. You said, T-Pre, the burden of proof is on the person making the claim. Here you are, jumping out the clouds. Hey, Spottum, how are you today? No, sweetheart, it is not, just because you say so, okay? We know you like Breaking the Culture of Silence. We know you love her, okay? And you want the burden to be on me. Guess what? I didn't make the claim. I did not make the claim. I'm just spilling the tea, and I don't give a fuck who likes it. That's it. Now, it's up to her, like I said, in the lounge where we are at. It's up to her to prove I'm right. But I hope you're doing good today. Shout out to you. You know I love you, boy. Make a change. You said, please don't prove that I am not Jamaican. You know you're not Jamaican, man, okay? You and your thumbnails. You said, hey, the spotter. You laugh. You said, Miss T-Free, I'm talking about Shakim's versions of the story. I can't keep up. Oh, yeah, man, me girl. I'm trying to tell you, shout out to Spotter. Yeah, but the burden, like I said, is on that bitch, okay? Period. You said Miss T Pre, he talking about the Greyhound from Wilmington to Philly. That bus. That short cheek bus. Okay.
Take it away. But she's not a, she doesn't look like a black person.
Yes, sir. I heard that
a
shit.
lot
I
of
know
people
she
like
ain't no
Booker T.
Nigerian. I
Washington
don't
didn't
care who
look
likes
black.
it.
Oh man, look, I'm not
Prove it,
doing this.
bitch.
I'm not doing this because you can't comprehend what I'm
Do that
saying
with
to
the
you.
boys. Like there's so many black people that were mixed.
Look, we're not talking about who's mixed. We're talking about who looks like a black person. And she don't. Does she to you?
She looks like Mariah Carey. And
Does she look like a black person to you?
Mariah
Yes or
Prove
no?
she is.
Yes.
Does she look like a black person to you?
Prove
Yes
she
or no?
is.
Yes. She looked like a regular.
Prove she is. That's what she need to do now. The burden of proof is on that bitch. How about them noodles?
light skin chick.
Okay, well then shit. Then I guess we just gonna have to agree to disagree. But go ahead, man.
No, I mean I don't even care.
No, actually, the source.
She has a black mother.
Actually, the source is not. Let me see your transcript, sweetheart. Okay. No. Let's not go there. See, there are a lot of people, spot them. Okay. A lot of folks. See, y'all in this little sector, there's certain people in this sector that literally never spill out into any other spaces. And if they do, they don't spill out into spaces that people don't know, people like myself or Breakin' or somebody else. Okay. So y'all don't be knowing how many people know that woman, know about her past, know her family history, and know all about her shit. And they be spilling her shit left and right. So no, it wasn't It wasn't let me see your transcript. Nope, not at all. We're not gonna blame her. And shout out to let me see your transcript. I appreciate her, but no, it wasn't her at all. Nope. Try again. We're gonna go ahead and keep going. Hey, Eyes, I appreciate you being in the building. Everybody go over, subscribe to Eyes Nation TV. You said most Africans can tell you come from, and tell you what tribe you look like you come from. So spot them. Tell us, where do you think her ancestors are from in Nigeria? Right. She also says she took a 23andMe test and she was related to King somebody, and also to I think it was who was it? Morgan Freeman or some crazy shit like that. I don't know if it was Morgan, but it was somebody. But neither one of the people she mentioned was Nigerian. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and keep going. You said Spot'em don't like no one. Spot'em don't like no one. Don't put that lie out there. Okay. He loves breaking the culture, though. He do. No, I'm not lying. He be critical of her too, of some stuff, but not as much. He be hopping out the clouds as soon as somebody say something about her. You said LOL, stop. You said she's a tad bit notorious. Child. Everybody get that coffee real quick. Everybody get that coffee. You said Eyes Nation, my aunt is lighter than her. So I would say LGBO from Amber State. Well, light skin and dark skin isn't so much it. I know her family history, and I know she's not Nigerian, period. I have light skinned people in my family too who are lighter than her. And it has nothing to do with who they are. He says she's a whoa, Vicky. She's related to Jeffrey Jaffer. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and keep going with this because there's a little bit more cooking we doing.
So now she's not black because we don't like her all of a sudden? Is that what it is?
No, that may be somebody else's stance, but I'm just saying I always said she wasn't black.
Not you. Oh, you always said she wasn't black. Okay. But T Pre said she was a black woman at one point.
I heard that.
I still think she's a black woman because I never said, here you are again, making up stories, making up narratives. I never said she wasn't black. I said she's not Nigerian. That's what I said. She is not Nigerian, but she is a black woman. She's partially black. Of a part. There's a little part in there. But she's not fully black like y'all would think, right? She's not even half black like y'all would think, okay? And she damn sure ain't Nigerian. Probably somewhere. We all Nigerian somewhere, We all got a Nigerian scammer somewhere in the family. You know what I mean? But nah.
She doesn't like her. You see? So
stop making up
that's
shit.
all I wanted to say. Like,
I never said that.
Miss T Pre, as long as first of all, I don't have to ask any questions about Miss T Pre. I don't have to ask about who her mama is.
Why
I don't hold up. As far as what she looks like, I don't have to ask nobody I ain't worried about her ancestry, but I'm not pulling out DNA strips. I'm not trying to see who her parents are. I look at Miss T. Pre, and I know that's one of my people. Now, I might say, hey, Miss T. Pre is incorrect about something she said, or Miss T. Pre is right about something she said, but I'd be goddamned if I'm gonna let some motherfuckers I've never seen before, and definitely some non-black people, come on this motherfucker and talk about Miss T. Pre. We're not doing that.
Well, the only person I've heard talk about T. Pre is Binary. So if you talking about Binary, then I think Binary is still partially black, even if it's
Binary, the masturbator,
and I don't even like Binary.
Kid Code, the masturbator, aka Kid Code.
I don't even
is a black person. He looks like a black person. I wouldn't give a fuck who his parents was. The nigga can't pass for nothing but a black person. Okay.
Absolutely. So I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care what anybody says about Binary Code. Binary is an undeniable black man to me. I don't care what's going on, who portion of half his mom is half of, and all this. Binary looks like a black man. It is not a question in my mind that he is black. Not at all. Breaking the culture is another question, but she says she's black. I believed her. And I also know for a fact that there is some black in her family. It's just not the Nigerian mother.
Get that right.
Okay. So he can talk shit about T. Pre then, right?
Yeah, he can say what he want to say.
Okay, then. So nobody else. Who else you talking about? There's nobody else.
I just mentioned the names. I said slander. Okay. I said drama. And I said breaking the culture.
Slander hasn't said nothing about.
And to be fair, slander hasn't really said anything about me that I know of. And also, any of y'all niggas can talk about me. I wouldn't give a fuck. Real nigga shit. If y'all niggas feel like you need to put me on a thumbnail and talk about me, you ain't doing nothing but bringing niggas to my channel. Okay? Shout out to you. It's free promotion. It's all good. I don't care. You are welcome to talk about me. You are welcome to say what you want. Because guess what? I might talk about your ass too. I'm just saying. So
about her drama.
No, slander just sits up and lets the motherfuckers that have talked about Miss T. Pre come on his panel and have fucking free reign. Because this bitch ass nigga talks about he's a biracial that identifies as black. That's what the fuck slander does, which means that nigga ain't black any fucking way. Even behind the scenes, the motherfucker can't hide it. All right. So what you got going on is anybody that goddamn facilitates some shit like that is a nigga that's, hey, look, you suspect and we ain't seen you. So therefore, motherfucker, you guilty. Right?
He be dragging. Okay. Yo, that's the thing about it, DJ Drama. He be dragging anybody and everybody that he is beefing at the second with in his mind. You know what I mean? Like he literally will drag them into it. He done drag P into this conversation. He done drag everybody into this shit because he has a problem with the women in the sector. This shit is crazy.
I mean, I respect your views on race. I actually wanted to read the ISIS. What is it? The ISIS papers?
So wasn't that a complete contradiction to what he said earlier in his video when he said he felt like this was a race baiting conversation? He's tired of Alan's race baiting conversations. He's sick of Alan and his shit with this race baiting. But now, I have so much respect for your conversations on race. As a matter of fact, I want to bring the ISIS thesis to the conversation.
Again. But I don't have no issues when it comes to race. Now, what I do have an issue with is an idiot trying to tell me that I'm not a software engineer. Like, you're an idiot.
Who was that?
Carrie Ann and Defrauding. They're going to usajobs.com, which is a website that I would never go to for a job. Mm-hmm. I would go to Indeed, or if I'm looking for a tech job, I would go to dice.com.
Well, don't say that too loud because before you know it, Rev G will have your work history pulled up.
He can call my job. I mean, he's not going to be able to get through. I don't know how he got to Defrauding's job like that, but my job, you wouldn't even be able to get through the email system to get to my manager. But like I don't use USA Jobs, and that's a horrible website to use if you're trying to figure out what type of jobs I could qualify myself for. And no, you don't need a degree. See, this is the problem. We got niggas running around here with the white man's paperwork, and they want to act like the white man's degrees is the motherfucking hieroglyphics.
Well, what about the white man's job?
And the white man's military or whatever.
Well, hold up. Don't you have a white man's job?
If you consider working for the government, which I pay taxes into, the white man's job, then so be it.
Well, doesn't defrauding work for the government that he pays taxes into?
I don't know where he works. He works for the military, right?
Yeah.
Okay, living life.
But I'm
I
not
appreciate you being in the
dying
building. Shout out to
for this
you.
white man's
I meant
country.
to say that already.
At the end of the day, if they call me to go to war, nigga, it's over. But
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Now, how stupid does this nigga sound? Okay, you are literally giving a straw man's argument. Okay, you're saying like, okay, you work for the white man, you know, because you work in the military, so you work for the white man. He's like, well, don't you work for the white man? He's like, well, like, nigga, you work for the white man too. So which one is it? Like, you feel some type. This is the bullshit I be talking about with Shakim. He wants to put himself on this higher pedestal over everyone else, as if he's not living an everyday lifestyle like everybody else is. Fuck this software engineer bullshit. I don't know or care whether you're a software engineer or not, right? You probably are. I mean, he's pretty smart. He's good at Java. He's good at this kind of stuff. So with him having an entry-level software engineer job would not surprise me. Okay, I don't know who would be surprised at that, but it doesn't surprise me that he has that type of position. But the whole thing that he's coming at right now over defrauding, he acts like defrauding cannot have a conversation with Carrie Ann or anybody else about him, like he turns around and has a conversation about Carrie Ann or me or Nikki or Eyes or any other woman in the sector he chooses today. And, you know, he'll bring them and talk about them, and that's okay. He can have a whole panel full of men talking about everything, and that's okay. But if this woman decides to have a conversation about him, that's a problem. Like, which one is it? How do you set yourself above everybody else in a situation? You are just like everybody else in this sector. Why do you think you can talk about everybody and this is just a one-way street? You could just say whatever the fuck you want and do whatever you want all freely, and nobody's supposed to say nothing back. Nobody's supposed to speak back. Nobody's supposed to look you up, have some conversation about you and your shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, pussy ass nigga. Get on my goddamn.
What you gonna do if they draft you?
I'm not going to fight for this white man. You crazy?
No.
So where are you gonna go? To the white man's jail?
Right now.
Because if they draft your ass and you decide you're not going to fight for the white man, guess where the fuck your black ass going? You going to the white man's prison? Okay, that's where the fuck you go.
By doing your who do you think the job that you do that you do benefits?
The job that I do benefits our country because it's protecting people.
Who's our country?
America, United States.
Yeah, that's the white boy. Yeah, sorry. I mean, you can call it how you want to, but
yeah,
what you do. So he took our best and brightest, and is just he's using you to do what he's using you to, to complete this thing. I understand what you're saying. So how can you sit up? Look, how can one person with a job sit up and try to judge another person with a job?
No, it's not about that. It's about the fact that he acts like I'm not qualified to do anything without the white man's okay. And
You're
it's
not?
like,
well, you ain't. I'm gonna tell you, listen, I'm gonna tell you that regardless of what you think you know in this world, you're not quite whatever you know, you're not, it's not working without the permission of the white folks.
Johnson, I appreciate that information. I appreciate that information because I didn't know what they were talking about, but I think he did say that he works for the federal government and he does software engineering there. So I guess that's why they were looking that up. Okay, and that makes sense. He put that information out there and they were looking to confirm whether or not, he would be making six figures doing this kind of stuff. But entry-level software engineering without having an actual degree in it, yeah, I could see him being able to do that. I don't think it's that difficult to get into, depending on who you know and depending on what your background already is. So I'm not surprised that he would be doing something like that, or at least trying to. He said, hit the like, y'all. Yes. He said, diggable life. That's dope. All right, so let's go ahead and get right back into this, guys.
Myself, how to be a programmer.
Okay, well, what job are you working that they don't goddamn sanction?
So you don't think there's any minority-owned businesses, any woman-owned businesses, any businesses owned by other races?
No.
The company I work for is a minority-owned
Hey,
company.
look, man. I
Okay,
had a
so I
had
think
a
you
whole
can
business.
own black, of course there's black-owned businesses, right? Of course, all of us who own a business or do, business, it's black-owned, of course, right? But it still pays taxes into a white man's government. Like, let's just keep that a being. We're not going to pretend that black-owned businesses don't pay into a government in the U.S. that is not black-owned.
Man, with employees, right? And I ran it for a long time. And do you understand that just because I owned it, the shit wasn't black owned, nigga? I wasn't doing what the fuck I wanted to do over there.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
There's so many Indians and foreign people that have their own companies. Yes,
Do they?
especially in tech. Like tech is different. I don't know about other
No,
But do they do anything that's out?
Listen, they have their own companies, but they still pay taxes into the same government. It doesn't matter who owns the company, what race they are still paying taxes into the US government, which is not a black-owned government. Period. It's not even a black-ran government. It doesn't even have the interests of black people at its forefront.
Outside of these laws that the white boy laid down for you.
What outside of? I mean, no company should be violating the laws.
They won't. Trust me. And if they do, they'll be punished for it. And guess who's going to punish them? Not you or me.
Yes, but my point is, I don't need the white man's degree to be an engineer. We are born engineers. We are born mathematicians.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And especially now, it's so ignorant when people don't work in my field and they try to tell me about my field. I'm not going to tell you about your field because I don't know shit about it.
Who taught you what it is that you know? Did you just come out knowing what you know? Was you just born knowing what you know?
I honestly think it was in my DNA. Honestly, because I was 10 years old looking at computer code and hacking and looking at numbers and formulas and stuff like that. So I honestly do believe black boys are born with mathematical genius and computer genius in their blood.
Well, not computer genius. Because if they were born before computers, then what would it be called?
Well, the Egyptians actually invented the first computer.
It would be numbers.
Okay.
It'd be math.
Right. I get it. But what I'm saying is
the computer is nothing but math. That's literally what he's saying. And I understand the language of what he's saying. It's just math, it's numbers, it's all numbers. And yes, the black brain, the male brain, which is something scientific and something we'd have to go into on a whole nother conversation, is wired this way. And yes, we are walking computers.
But here's what I'm saying. You don't do anything with that genius, and you don't do anything with that learning that is outside the confines of what these motherfuckers tell you that you can and can't do. Now, do you?
Not me. I mean, I can't speak for others.
Exactly. Not me either.
But I plan on creating a whole different paradigm with my knowledge. But I'm saying it's in black boys, those formulas, that math shit, that computer shit. Why do you think they don't want us to be in tech? It's only 1% of black people in this field.
Listen, I don't want a whole lot of people to do a whole lot of things, but I don't have the ability to stop it. So what we're talking about is apples and oranges. If these people don't want you in something, not wanting you there is one thing. Having the power to make sure that you ain't there is another thing. And that's what you fail to see, man. These people have the power to make sure that whatever it is you do, whatever genius you possess, whatever you got going on, is going to benefit them as a fucking collective. Now, if you don't understand that, then you don't know where the fuck you are. Now, I appreciate you in the sentiment that you drop down when you come over here or when you talk just in general about us being brilliant and us being, being able to do what we want to do. I think it's great, man. I used to live in that world too. I think it is great. But at the same time, listen, unless you're engineering an ass whooping, nigga, fuck all that other shit.
Okay.
Basically.
Very, very interesting. But that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to let him know USA Jobs is not where you find tech jobs. Okay. So I'm trying to actually educate your dumb ass, but you keep trying to tell me about my field and about software engineering.
Exactly. Like all you
So if
really
you want to
need.
know and actually get educated,
Yeah, you can actually do that. And they start this off in elementary and junior high school and stuff now. Because my son, he's in junior high school. He does coding. And they be doing that kind of stuff around here. It's like basic software coding, you know what I mean? But it's the future. So this is something that is he's right. You know, this is the direction it's going. I do believe that coding will change over time as it has already. Various coding has changed different ways. They had to change codes on it in order for the internet to even become public. When Zuckerberg made Facebook public, they had to change the coding. There was a lot of stuff that coding does that changes over time and just changes technology. So ultimately, yes, he's right. And I do think that Shakim is on that range of software engineer, but I think he's more entry level with it. I don't think he's like a major, like he doesn't have certain code licenses that I am very aware of. My daughter is also a coder. She has several licenses that makes her very marketable. And she works for a specific company that only it's very difficult to get into. And you have to have certain licenses in order to be that type of coder. So that coding and the coding he's talking about, I'm not really sure, right? I don't know who he works for, but he claims he works as a coder and he does it for a company that works for that has a contract with the government. That sounds more like it to me. But yeah, so I'm aware exactly of what he's talking about, and I do think he is in that field, but I don't think he's at a certain level. I don't think he has certain I don't think he has certain criteria. My daughter went to school for that, and she also has licenses that not only she had already when she went to the company, but then they also sponsored these other licenses because she had these licenses already. And I'm not going to say what those are because if I said those licenses, you would be able to dox her because only 5 or 6 people have those licenses in the country. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Black excellence. So for that, I would say shout out to Shakim because he really is on the path of doing that, and he probably is at the point of or on the verge of getting certain licenses, so that would make him much more marketable, and he would be making 6 figures or at least close to it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into that. Let's go ahead and move on a little bit because he gets to talking about some other stuff here. And I just thought it was crazy. I'm not going to play the whole show. The show's like 3 hours.
Then you can talk to me directly. But all of this back and forth in the chats and all of this panel hopping, you've never had a single conversation with me, bruh. So I'm actually glad.
The fraud and charlatans, this man is calling you out. He's calling you to the carpet, bro.
I'm glad Rev G called your job.
No. We should never be glad about that. No,
because he deserved it because
he deserved it.
He's trying to tear me down for no goddamn reason.
This man was talking about you, bro. He was talking about you. How does talking about you translate into this motherfucker getting his job called?
No, I don't care about that. I'm saying he has been talking shit about me for years. So and I've never, not once, had a single conversation with him.
Has he tried to affect anything you got going on offline, man?
No, I didn't say he did.
Okay, but you happy about somebody doing something to him offline?
Yes, because he's literally trolled me for years.
Hey man, get the fuck out of here, man. Get up off the show. Get up off the show. Get up off the show. Get up off the show.
At this point, I really did think Alan was going to kick him off the panel, but he didn't. He didn't kick him off the panel. He did let Shakim kind of explain himself a little bit, and I ended up getting in on this conversation because this shit was crazy. Just listen to what Shakim ends up saying, guys. Just hear this bullshit out because this shit is wild.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Bodyguard, I'm confused.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. This somebody tried to take food out the man's mouth, and you over here because this nigga was talking about you.
Who cares? There's plenty of people that's had their jobs called. He ain't the only one.
You happy that somebody called the man's job because he talked about you.
Sometimes you need to be humbled in life when you go around talking shit to everybody and you think it's funny. No.
This is the pot calling the kettle fucking black. So we need to do a sector trip then for everybody who Shakim has talked shit about repeatedly over and over and over again. And we should be calling his job. So he thinks it's okay that Rev G contacted Defrauding's job, not because him and Defrauding were having an issue, but because Defrauding had talked shit a couple of times about Shakim and spoke facts about Shakim. It's not like he was talking shit and just talking shit here and saying a little bit of something there. He was speaking facts about Shakim, and Shakim felt some type of way. And so because of that, his sensitive, bussy, pussy motherfucking ass felt like it was okay for Rev G to call this man's job. Are you for real? Are we serious right now? Are you kidding me right now? For all the bullshit this nigga has talked to me, all the shit this nigga has said about Flacco, this nigga has said about Darrell, everybody else in the sector, all the women in the sector he has talked about, all the bullshit he has done. And he has resorted to being okay with Rev G calling Defrauding's military job. Let's go ahead and let this bitch continue.
No, it's not funny all the time, is it? Life is not a game. And you try to tear me down about what I do.
Good
and
morning,
where I
Clark.
work
Clark.
and what the
Grand Rising to you. I appreciate you being in the building. Shout out to you. I haven't seen you in so long. Oh, I appreciate you being here today. Great risings to you, sis. Shout out to you.
degrees I got. Bitch, that's why your dumb ass got yourself doxxed and your job called. Am I supposed to cry and have sympathy for somebody that does trolling for a living? No.
Now you're supposed to be a real nigga and say that if that's not the game we
we are definitely everywhere. I will say that we are all over the world and in the Asiatics, everywhere, honey. We have been in the Icelands, we up in Arctics, we everywhere. We everywhere.
Playing, that ain't the game we playing. If we talking, we talking. And then when niggas want to take it to the streets, then we gonna take it to the streets too. That's what we do. I mean, that's real nigga shit though.
I mean, he should have stopped talking shit. That's the reason that he got his job called.
Unbelievable, right?
He was talking shit to the wrong motherfucker. That he gave.
This is Rev G we're talking about. The person who has dragged Rev G through these YouTube streets more than anybody else. There is not a soul out here. Not a soul, y'all. Y'all go ahead and take a look for yourself. There's not a soul out here who is talking about Rev G more than Shakim Ra, okay? Because of Rev G's bullshit. Because of the fact that Rev G be calling people jobs, Rev G be contacting people's family members, Rev G be doing the most, right? And this nigga is agreeing with Rev G. I want y'all to pay attention to Shakim while he's sitting here cozying up to breaking the culture of silence and at the same time agreeing with Rev G contacting Defrauding's job. Like, what type of heel turn ass, weird ass, dusty ass, fucking demonic ass bullshit is this? What is going on, sir? Are you on the payroll now of the AFWs? Like, what is happening? What is really happening right now? Where you are cozying up to this bitch and then cozying up to Rev G. Like, what's going on? What's going on right now? Can you explain? We're confused.
This information to, because him and Rev G actually used to be buddies.
I know.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, now y'all not buddies no more. So now your former buddy is calling your job, but it's your fault because you know how Rev G get down.
Say that
I would
again.
never
say that again. Rev G tried to put this man in prison. He has tried to get you evicted. He has tried everything he possibly can. Fuck the calling a job. He was all the way and 100% behind Binary and the shit Binary was doing, trying to get you locked up. He has been from sector to sector. He is the reason why The sector believes you have HIV. That was not from me. That came out of a Discord that Rev G was in. So, Shaquem, suddenly you got this nigga back. Even though you trying to say, it was all this stuff and no. But this man is the one. This is a heel turn and a half. This is a heel turn and a half. It really makes me wonder, what the fuck is up with Shaquem? Who the fuck is paying you? Because you can dangle a couple dollars in your face and you'll dance like a fucking Sandman. You ain't got no fucking problem doing it. You ain't got no fucking problem being that Sambo nigga. But we're going to go ahead and continue.
Ever befriend Rev G and anti-Afro? Like,
well, I tried to. I made that mistake. But guess what, though? But I'm not sitting up here saying that I'm glad that they look. If they did the shit to my enemies, man, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm happy about the bullshit.
Well, he ain't talked shit about you for 2 years.
It's all good. Some people have. What's up, Miss T. Pre?
Hey, y'all gonna hear my response to this
girl?
bitch ass nigga.
As
I'm
always.
good. I'm good. How are you? Always good to see you too.
I'm all right, man. I like that picture of you over there at the thing when you was like, yo, we getting ready to go and everything. It just totally debunked that old bullshit that breaking the culture of intelligence had up, man. And I already knew anyway.
Yeah, I need to pull them pictures up. I'm gonna go grab them pictures.
Behind the scenes and shit. But I'm just saying, for a motherfucker to go so far as to goddamn take your picture and Photoshop and shit like that, this bitch worked for the conglomerate, don't she?
Hey, you know what?
Hi.
Truth always comes out. That's just all it is.
It does.
And that's water under the bridge.
That's water under the bridge. I had to put the juice there. Wait a minute. Yeah. Talk about it.
For those of y'all that don't know that inside joke, that's a joke about me and Mines, right? So me and Mines had told them that she had to carry water to their crib. She had to take buckets of water and carry that from the corner store to their house when they ain't had no water running in their crib, right? So we would say she had to walk under the Passyunk Bridge to go get some water, or she had to go under the bridge to get some water. So they would just call that water under the bridge now. So I mean, we just be having dumbass jokes. But shout out to Alan.
What's in the juice? Is it Hennessy? Like, what is it?
It's apple juice, bro. Look at this. Can you look at this and not tell us apple juice? Jesus Christ. Why people be talking crazy, man? This shit is apple juice.
Apple juice, you know.
That is not no damn apple juice. That is some damn tequila mixed with some motherfucking vodka, nigga. But
and crack cocaine too.
They sure look. It was Rev G spearheading that conversation about Shaquem being homeless. The reason why he was going live at all these places is because his house was homeless. It was condemned. It was abandoned, and he was squatting in the house, and all his possessions were in a trash bag. Y'all remember that story? That wasn't even that long ago. Like, now all of a sudden he's supporting these motherfuckers. You said, no, not just supporting binary. You said he has admitted to being paid to go after people. Okay. I'm just saying he's always paid to go after people. So it would not surprise me at all that he is on the payroll of Breaking the Culture and AAS and all of them. But they gonna drop him like a fucking hotcake as soon as they done using his dusty ass. But they always do it. Like, this is what they do. You said, I think Shaquem is jealous of Lenon. Of course he is. You said Stephanie Collins, another storyline that was never proven by the show Me Receipt Squad. Well, he the one saying it. My. You said irrelevant, toothless Rev G. I'm just saying, cats, okay? Just saying. You said the beautiful Bernice, he clearly doesn't remember what he says. He was nonstop about Lenon. I'm guessing Lenon should have called his job. Exactly. Was it okay Like, I don't understand, right? You said diggable logic. You said they had an open investigation of their own over that Rev G student series. They fucked it up and ended up getting investigated themselves because they lied on him. Exactly. You said, okay, Clark. You said he was allegedly running from the police, according to them. Exactly. You said, hey, I used to have to carry water up the hill when I lived in the island. I am offended by that statement. Shout out to Make a Change. All right, listen. Let's get back into this hot tea, y'all, because I really do end up digging in that ass. I mean, I did it very respectfully, because I didn't feel like arguing with a bitch ass nigga. You know, you get tired of arguing with pussy ass niggas all the time. So, you know, but I had to tell him about himself.
Mixed with long dick energy, nigga.
Oh God. Oh God, no.
Let's go.
Have a little gazelle in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, put the DZ in there, motherfucker. Put the DZ in it. Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Can y'all go ahead and build the bridge real quick?
No, I was just gonna say, you know, that and it's y'all heard me say no. Okay, I was not looking to build a bridge at all. It's not to argue or any of that. But I often lately, I mean, like I said, I may come to somebody else's channel that I actually support, like yours, right, Alan?
Thank you.
And I appreciate your support to me. There's just spaces I just choose not to go to anymore. So if I hear about somebody talking about me, it's because I'm in your space or something like that, right? So I had no idea that anybody's having any conversations about me. It doesn't really matter.
Hey, hold on, Mr. Dupree. I got to say what's up to Conscious Moron. Thank you, big bro, for coming over here and kicking it with us, man. This is all my people. This is Shakim Ra. This is Miss T Pre. Both good folks. And just come watch us chop it up. Go ahead.
So my whole thing is, like, regardless of whoever is talking shit or roasting or whatever, go do you. You know what I'm saying? If that works for you and that's great, hey, have at it. I find myself roasting people every so often, so I don't really have a problem with it. My whole thing is, I don't want none of y'all jobs called, right? Like,
thank you.
I don't feel as though none of y'all niggas need to be fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to eat. You still got to pay your rent, your mortgage, whatever you got. You still got electric to pay. I mean, and shit is high nowadays. Okay, I mean, and we can't be out here selling drugs and doing all that type of shit to raise money in order to pay our bills. So therefore, most of us have to either work or work at our business or do something like that.
But by the way, the dick is still for sale. And I price it by the inch. So let's go. Go ahead.
You know, the swinging is for sale. You know what I mean? No, but anyway, I'm just saying, you know, nobody needs to have their job called. I don't care. Like, I have been roasted from Shakim, for instance, multiple times or in multiple spaces, obviously on multiple occasions, and obviously it's still happening. And I don't wish anybody to call his job. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I would never want to see that happen to Shakim.
No, I'm never going to call his job. No. I'm not going to call anybody in his family. I'm not going to post pictures of his family. You know what I'm saying? Because it really doesn't.
Post the pictures of the man's mama, man. And I said, you know what? This is fucking ridiculous.
Right.
I went to bat for that shit. I was like, what the fuck y'all doing? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. Ain't nobody doing that shit. That shit's corny. Like, people that need to go to those lengths, like, you have a problem. There's something emotional.
The person that said I had AIDS? Really?
I mean, you also talked about my son. That was in response to you talking about my son.
Okay,
so exactly. That was a response to you talking about my son's mental health. And I repeated something Rev G said about you. Okay. No, it wasn't me. That didn't come from me. We're not going to play that game.
Sometimes people forget. Right.
No, wait a minute. See, I never called your job over that, though, right?
So you don't matter.
You didn't call my job over that, though.
Wrong, that's still wrong.
I'm not going to argue with you. But the point is, you didn't call my fucking job, and I didn't call yours, okay? Like, I can take a roast just like you can, and I can move the fuck on. And I've actually moved on so much that I don't even talk about you. Okay, so that's how much. So the point is, even if somebody is coming at you or they talking about you, like, I know you can actually take a roast from somebody. You feel me? Because you and I have roasted one another. You have roasted multiple people in this sector. Okay, so and nobody should be calling your job. And niggas that tried to come for you, I actually went to bat for shit like that. And
man,
so
I was over there. Look, I was over there talking, when telling the truth about the motherfucker that sit up and try to put a goddamn injunction on you, bro. I was telling the truth about a nigga that had no reason to do what the fuck he did to you. All right, over nothing. I was over there doing that, man. Even though I had to say what I had to say about you on the strength about other things, but that was because you called Rev G's job, nigga. My stance has never ever changed about the shit. Never. And I still defended you when I thought a motherfucker was fucking with something that could mess up your day to day. Man, this is what we talking about, man. Come on. All these goddamn emotions and getting upset about bullshit is some fuck. Look, we're gonna stop that. We're gonna stop
Now,
that.
this is the thing. I never said I wished for anybody to call anybody's job. I said I'm glad it happened to the fraud, and so it could bring him down a notch because he was very cocky and very disrespectful to me.
But that was the point of why Rev G and them tried to destroy your life. That was the point of why Binary Code tried to put an injunction on you, okay? Because you were talking shit about these motherfuckers, okay? You were telling these motherfuckers about themselves. You were speaking facts to these bitch ass niggas, and they couldn't fucking take that shit. And next thing you know, they started getting the white man in it. They started trying to get you contact. They really tried to get you touched out here. And you're taking on the same mindset and the same stance because somebody's talking about you. Like, really? You just talked about me, according to everybody else, for like a couple hours yesterday. What I heard, I ain't been over there to look at it, to see. But what I heard is you was talking about me just yesterday. And that's okay. But if a motherfucking nigga, a man, a real man, talks about you and puts your pussy ass in your motherfucking place, you be all hurt in your bag, in your feelings, to the level that your own enemies who have done the most fuck shit to you in the sector, you and Darrell have probably gotten the most fuck shit. Let me see your transcript. Okay, I'm going to add another person. The most fuck shit from them. And you are willing to side with them because somebody talked about you. Just like you're willing to side with Breaking the Culture, even though you know she fucked you over from multiple ways. You're willing to side with her just because I don't fuck with her. You sound fucking dumb. Like, you really sound stupid. You have no idea how dumb you fucking sound.
And I'm sure other people as well. And now he got to walk on eggshells and think twice before he says some shit because it's being recorded and screenshotted and he could get in trouble. So that's all I'm saying. I didn't wish anybody's job to be called. But do I have sympathy and empathy for a troll? Hell no.
That is crazy, but yet you think it's okay. You know what? You said, I can't lie. I always agreed that this doxing calling job was dirty. And you said, Stephanie, but no one was held to task, especially the one that orchestrated the lies in the first place for a man that didn't acknowledge their existence whatsoever. You said, Alan, crazy. You said you shouldn't be glad about that. Not that, right? Like, why are you glad? I'm glad because that was the whole point of what they did it. They did it so they can, quote unquote, take you down a notch, right? So you can stop talking about them. That was why they were trying to put injunctions on you, trying to get a hold of your job, putting your business out, trying to act like your business was this, trying to act like it was that. Like they were doing this so they can, quote unquote, take you down a notch. Like you done took on the same attitude as the fucking AFWs, bro. The fuck?
And that's just me. But again, defrauding didn't troll you and didn't talk shit about you and harass you and make over 100 comments on your channel. He ain't said shit about you. So of course,
Hey TMK.
you're going to take his side.
Hey TMK. You said the sector has no boundaries is what I was told. I personally have been trying to define what is lawful and unlawful, but has yet to see an amendment to the Book of Sector Commandments. You know, they got their own rules in the sector. You said, oh, and for no money outside of a $20 cash app. You said, I am now seeing that this type of activity happens in all black sectors, white sectors too, believe it or not. The mommy sector, there's another sector, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, they be over there doxing people and doing the most and carrying on and everything else. You said doxing is an iron law of the internet, not the sector. Exactly. It is definitely a thing that goes on everywhere. Mm-hmm. You said not a sector, just a topic of discussion block that strayed from its original premise as it was meant to do. You said by the one who orchestrated the lies. Do you mean AAS? I think that's what you're talking about. You said fam ain't got no job. Who hiring will work for Jerk Chicken? Shout out to Jag. Will work for Jerk. Will jerk for Jerk. I Am Human says TMK. I checked out your jam. Nice one. Keep up the great work. Yeah, he has great music. You said that's not good for any of us. Mm-hmm. You said yes, Stephanie Collins. You said nah, Shakem. When it comes to assault of a student by Rainbow Randy, Stephanie, make sure that you are changing up how you're spelling words like that in the chat, okay, so that you don't bring bots over here. You said he lied about everything. You said I even heard someone make someone's cell phone was pinging off of a tower. What? Okay. You said my personal opinion. This should stay on the internet no matter what. I totally agree. I totally agree. All this extra stuff, it just shows how weak some people are. You say, yeah, Antonio Barnes, and by that you mean AAS. You said, and no one held Shakem to task for it, period. Who didn't hold Shakem to task for it? A lot of people held him to task for that. I don't know where you've been at. A lot of people held him to task for that. A lot of people don't tune in to other people's shit, and that's why they don't see stuff. You said no, Diggable. That was not cute. Nope. She was begging for food and recording herself. Child, shit was sad that Jag was doing. He said, I Am Human. If you look on my channel, there is a playlist called Dr. Bombay. There is a sector history of songs there. Yeah, he has some really good songs. He said anti-Katie Joy. You said Andrea was never going to do anything about what Shakem did in the realm of criminal liability. Stephanie, when it came to the defense of Rainbow Randy. Of course not. She's not an attorney, number one. And she really ain't popping like that. You said anti-KJ folks are bananas. You said Diggable laughing my ass off. You said Clark Jag was just I don't know what you're saying. Icing. So who had money to in jail. So who had money to bail her out? You said, I mean, outside of paying for Rainbow Randy legal fees when concerning the CB lawsuit. That was the only thing. And that was because she was on it too. And she probably felt guilty for her dragging him into it, pretty much. You said Diggable, they said Angela bailed her out. And she did. I did a little bit of that yesterday. Yeah, Angela bailed Jaguar out. And she's still hanging around. She's still there. So if people keep giving Legina money, this is where Legina's money goes to. Vocal lessons and Jaguar writes bail. And if Jaguar decides she's not going to court, Legina is on the hook for that. Okay, I guess everybody going to be paying for that too. I know I wasn't. You said, I can't tell they did because what he did was a crime. You said, Diggable, I see your jerk chicken and I will raise you a beef patty and a chicken roti. You said, Antonio Barnes, And you need to feel me. She did try to get Shakem criminally hemmed up for one, but by the one who started the Rev G lies about the students. Do you feel me? Yeah, she did. You said also what happens off the internet should stay off the internet, period. Can y'all maintain this mode of operation? I agree with that too. I agree with that too. You said Clark, true. But why was she willing to jerk for jerk to sit? You said make a change. I raise you a curry goat roti and some coconut water. You said I want some of all that. Make a change. Y'all got me hungry. Okay, y'all talking about roti and shit. Yeah, honey, I'm about to go get me some. All right, let's go ahead. And as a matter of fact, think I'm about to hit the Jamaican spot today. I could cheat. Yeah, it's Friday, right? Let's go ahead and finish this up, guys. I don't want to play all of Alan's video. When I get off of the channel, I'm going to play a little bit of what Shakem says, and then we're going to move forward in what the women had said towards the end. I think there's a part in that I wanted to play.
But
no, it is.
It is what it is. I mean, we don't got to agree on that.
Critique what Shakem was saying.
A conscious moron said, "Man, no calling jobs. Keep the beef online, man. This is some bullshit, and I don't support nobody who does that dumb shit."
And you know what? I'll even go as far as protecting my own energy. I'm not about to let nobody leave 100 messages on my shit. You're gonna see the block so fast if I really just don't want to hear or see what you. And y'all know damn well I'll block some niggas so quick. Talk about. Yeah, like and I ain't got to be over there in your spaces.
He's a troll. He had like 7 accounts. Like he creates a new account every week. So I don't have time to be blocking people every day and every other day. Leave me alone. But okay, nigga, when somebody call your job, am I going to be, having sympathy and, giving you tea and, sending you a cash app? Hell no.
I mean, but look, does anybody here see a bigger picture, man? I mean, what we're dealing with, what we're fighting, right? What we're all fighting, like we all have, everybody on this panel has the same enemy, man. Do we not understand that when you allow certain things that you goddamn cooperate with that bullshit? Do we understand that? And that's what I'm trying to talk about.
They don't see it, man. They don't
see it. Is it because I'm too old? Is it because I'm 47? I'm 47.
I see it. I honestly see it.
I've been saying that for the past couple of months before any of this shit got the way that it is. I've been talking about this. I've been seeing this. I've been telling everybody, but everybody telling me, no, I'm wrong. So, okay, all right, fuck y'all niggas. Y'all just gonna go ahead and deal with that shit, and y'all gonna see for yourself. Now everybody want to change their channel to a new direction. They want to do all this other shit. Okay, okay, cool.
Well, I just think people whose job hasn't been called. I mean, at this
mine hasn't. Niggas already know better than to call my job, but go ahead.
Okay, well, you are one of.
I think he is. I cannot believe he is actually like justifying this whole job calling situation. Well, whose job hasn't been called? Like it doesn't matter. It's cool. Like, do y'all hear what the fuck I'm hearing? I mean, does this sound like a heel turn to y'all or what? What's going on here?
Of the lucky ones, because
I'm a made man. It's true. Go ahead.
Maybe you just have one of those jobs they can't call.
Yeah, him calling his job.
But somehow they were able to get into the military. So if you
they didn't get nowhere with that either. So I mean,
exactly.
Basically.
But nobody celebrated the shit, but you, Ra.
Not you. What are you talking about? I didn't.
Nobody celebrated the fraud's job getting called or anything like that, except for you, my nigga. Why?
Because the frauding. Did you not see how much shit he just talked about me in Carrie Ann's comment section? This motherfucker tried to say I claim titles that I don't have. He tried to tell me I'm not an engineer.
Now, wait a minute. How? Now, first of all, okay, I'm going to say this. Everybody know this. This ain't no secret or nothing. I'm not beefing with Carrie Ann because I don't really go over there and listen to anything she's saying. I don't care anymore, right? So I don't know who's in her comment section. I told y'all, if y'all ever want to talk about T-Pre, right, and you don't want me to know, you can go in me and mine's comment section, Carrie Ann's comment section, and maybe a couple others now, okay? But the bottom line is, I don't even be over there to know what anybody would be saying, right? If I did want to go listen to somebody's video, I will just listen to the video. I'll be hiding the comment section because I don't really want to see or care. I want to hear what the fuck you're saying, right? And that's it. So how is it that people who claim they hate and cannot stand these people are spending so much time in their comment sections that they know exactly what other people are saying in that comment section? They know how much they're saying, how long they've been saying it, and everything else that's going on. But yet, you claim you can't stand Carrie Ann. You claim she ain't shit. She's the worst thing in the fucking world. So basically, you watch Carrie Ann just so you can have content. You watch Carrie Ann just so you can talk shit about Carrie Ann as a grown-ass fucking dusty-ass fucking man. And then you're going to sit here and know who's in her comment section and be upset with who's talking about you in her comment section because they disagree with you, because they don't like you, because they talking about you, because they said something about you. And it upsets you this much that you are willing to side with the fucking devil and be okay with what the devil does and what the devil tried to do to this person because they don't like your dusty ass. This is how sensitive and pussy your ass is. But you talk about the women in the sector.
Here, try to tell me I can't do my job without a degree.
I mean, they told me I'm not a baker. They told me I'm not this. They told me I'm not.
Man, they said I was beating women. They said I was beating women, Ra. They said I was beating women. These niggas accused me of crimes.
Man, they told me I'm a big roly-poly bitch. They told me I'm a prostitute. They told me all types of shit.
They said she was a big roly-poly woman, and the only thing she got is a big old butt, and that is attractive to me, and some big titties too. And then they called over here and said, this nigga is beating women. He's got motherfuckers in containers that he's transporting. They said my dad was committing murders in North Carolina back in the day. I didn't know nothing about it. Nobody in the family knew nothing about it, but them niggas knew about it. And you mad? What the fuck is going on, man? You got to come on up out of that bullshit.
No. You're misunderstanding. I'm just giving you examples. There's a list of things I can tell you that people have said about me, including Dupree, who started this AIDS rumor.
I did not start that AIDS rumor. I did not start that rumor. That is something you're trying to tell new people in the sector. Other people in the sector know that rumor's been out for a few years, sir. So cut that shit out. We not going to do that. Even you know you want sympathy and you need everybody. Oh no, bro. It didn't come from me. I just repeated it and it hurts your fucking feelings. But like Carrie Ann said, go get the fucking test. Everybody go take a test and post your shit. Since you want to post everything, do you? Let's go ahead. Let's get that done. What we waiting on?
So
nobody believe that.
I'm not even mad.
Didn't nobody believe that?
First of all,
letting you know that this person has talked mad shit about me. So why would I not be happy that their job got caught? Like, come on, bro, be logical.
Okay, now let me.
I'm being logical. I'm talking shit on the internet, and niggas is fucking with shit in life. Yeah. There's a fine line for me. It's a different line. Yeah.
Am I not supposed to be happy that he got humbled? Like I'm happy he got humbled. That's all I'm happy about.
Do you think he got humbled? Do you think he got humbled?
So everybody in the sector should be happy that you got. You weren't even able to come on the same panel with Binary because he was trying to get an injunction on you. Everybody should be happy that they tried to get you locked the fuck up for the fuck shit of you contacting, the school and saying that Rev G was N-wording a student, right? All the stuff that they tried to do with your house and how they put your information out there. We should be happy about these things, right? Because it should, quote unquote, bring you down a notch, right? For all the fuck shit that you've done to multiple people in this sector. Multiple people across the board in this sector. All the fuck shit that you've tried, even down to when you were out here trying to get Lenon Honors kids taken from him, when you were contacting CPS and all the bullshit. We should be happy that they were doing the things that they were doing to you. Should we? Because you're now siding with them over much smaller things that anybody may have said about you. Now you're siding with them over them doing that devilish shit to this man, which, by the way, didn't really affect him. He was just mad about it, and he should have been.
Do you think he got humbled?
You could tell by the way he talked that they had a stern conversation with him. You didn't hear him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was here for it. I heard
He's
that. I heard.
definitely not the same as far as his behavior after.
I heard that. From what I hear, what happened was they were telling him that they really understood the type of goddamn nuts he was dealing with. That's what I heard.
Facts, Bars. Facts, Antonio.
Oh,
That's what I got out the
You
conversation.
didn't hear the part where he said, you know, I gotta really watch what I say, and I don't have a choice to watch what I say.
Yeah, the
And
reason why he's saying that is because he doesn't want to deal with them. Like, I'm doing the same thing. I'm on my channel, right? And I'm doing different things on that channel. And thank you, Chat Lives. The HIV rumor goes back to 2020, at least 2020. Way back then. And I'm talking about probably like May or June of 2020. Like somewhere around there. Okay? That's how far back I heard that. So, no, T-Pre, when me and him argued on whoever's channel that was not the first time that was dropped to the sector. He just never proved to the sector it wasn't true. I might mention somebody every so often, but I won't make the whole show about them because I don't have time to keep dealing with their shenanigans. It don't got nothing to do with me being afraid of what they might do or what might happen to me. I just don't have time. It's time to protect my peace. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I got out of defrauding saying that. And no, he didn't get in any trouble at all. As a matter of fact,
none.
Well, I got something totally different, and sometimes people interpret things differently. So that's
They
just
do.
how
They
I
do.
interpret it.
They
yep,
do.
you're
I
entitled to that.
interpreted, do not fuck with me, and my job sounded like a very stressed out individual.
This nigga.
On period. Facts. Beautiful Bernice. And a lot of people do not get that at all. They don't get that at all. If you real with me, then I'm real with you. If you don't fuck with me, then I don't fuck with you. And some people think I don't notice that you don't fuck with me. But when you realize I notice, don't be mad. How about that? You said Chat Lives. He posted that he had HIV and Icy Tears Jonte chat to begin with. You said, so they never did the test challenge? Nope. You said, I have the screenshot. You said one of the people that is part of starting that rumor is in the chat now. I ain't gonna speak on it, but I know Rev G was part of it. You said DC didn't talk any shit about Shakim's health. DC defrauding child. No, he didn't. You said TMK Media, the mantra is let me bully you and be okay with it because we are still in high school. Okay? That's it. Just let me say whatever I want and you don't get to speak back. You don't get to say nothing. You just let me say and do whatever I want to and get over it. That's basically what they be saying. You said, LOL, Stephanie Collins, and I'm still salty about you taking Brittany from me in college. Bros before hoes, Steph. You broke the golden rule. Law. You said, Chat Lies. What's good, bro? You said Clark agreed. You said make a change just carrying this water up the hill, bro. What's up with you? I love the fucking loungers, man. This is why I come back and do this shit. I really do. I love you guys. Y'all get me laughing. This shit is hilarious that y'all be saying. And it keeps the party just fucking going up here in the lounge, guys. You said Brittany was trying to get chose TMK Media, and she sure did. I'm going to tell you guys something that I've been thinking about doing, all right? Because my channel is monetized, I am not able to play certain types of music. I have to play music that I can't play copywritten music, okay? Now, I know that if I demonetize the channel, I could do that, but I still may have a problem with it for the simple fact that I've got so many people, right? So what I was thinking about doing is just starting another Black Lounge channel and calling it something called like the back room or the Black Lounge after party or something like that. And on Friday nights, Saturday nights when I go out, I usually play music when I'm getting dressed and stuff like that. So I was thinking about playing y'all my music and the music that I actually play, which is not this epidemic sound music. It's stuff like, old school rap. I love stuff like that. I love most hip hop I like. There's some old newer hip hops I'm not really into, but old school hip hop and stuff like that I'm really, really into. And so I usually leave around 10, 11 o'clock at night. So that would be a good time to stop the show. I could start the show around 8 or so and just play all old school rap, all old school hip hop. I can take, people, if y'all want to give me, stuff you want me to play and different things like that, I can do all of that and just not ever monetize that, right? Just let everybody come in and we just enjoy that. So I was thinking about doing that. And I'm just letting you guys know so that you guys, when I do drop the link to that channel over here on Black Lounge, you guys can go ahead and subscribe to that. Okay. But again, that will not be a monetized channel because I want to be able to play music. And I know that that is the way I can actually do it. I can't do it here though. It's just not going to work. I've tried it and no, it's not going to work. So I'd just rather just start over again and just do a whole nother channel. And I actually have a channel already that I can do this on. Okay. So, you guys let me know what y'all think. Okay. And those that catch the replay, let me know in the comments what y'all think as well. But yeah, guys, I was really thinking about doing that and just kind of opening up that channel anytime we want to go over there and just bust it up, laugh, joke, and listen to music, and just real music, right? And like I said, I'll take whatever you guys want. If y'all want me to play something, I'll play that, depending on what it is. Most stuff I'll play, but I'm really into especially old school hip hop. Okay. So anything in the 90s, anything in the 80s, anything in the 2000s, even some 70s hip hop. But, not really. But really anything older than that. And both sides of the country too. So I do I do West Coast and East Coast. So let me know. Okay. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. Okay. But yeah, guys, I just wanted y'all to know about that. That is something that I have been thinking about doing. You said, I know who it was that started the rumor. She posted what she thought was proof, but it was taken down from her community wall now. Yep. You said, make a change. My favorite dish from Trini Paulo. Correct my spelling. You said, Stephanie Collins, LOL. You said, he posted it first in Icy Tears Jonte chat. You know what? You say, yep, Antonio Barnes. You said, when he was suing August Archibald, who he deduced correctly, it was Andrea Michelle Stewart. You said, Pilar. Okay. I don't know if I'm saying it right because y'all talking that island shit. You said, let he who is without fuck shit do the sector cast the first stone. Let he who is without fuck shit in the sector cast the first stone. Exactly, Antonio Barnes. Many people saw. You said, make a change. You getting me with the food. Okay, they getting me hungry. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit the Jamaican spot today. You said, and it was not a troll. Come on, y'all. Child. You said, yep. He said, oh, wow. I was wondering why it was so many people walking out of the blood banks in Detroit with a fist balled up. You know what? TCT Trap Talk. Yo, man. I said something crazy to you the other day because I thought it wasn't the fuck you, but it is the fuck you because I heard you on somebody's channel and you was actually talking. So that is you. So this is Ghost, y'all. Shout out to fucking Ghost ass. You said, I remember Shakima said he was near death in the hospital, not with COVID, but with something with symptoms similar to that of someone and he cured himself magically with the Harry Potter hotep, okay? With a spell, right? With a spell. You said, peace, TMK. Everybody remembers him being in a hospital. I cannot confirm or deny what he was in there for. You said exactly, Antonio Barnes. You said Chat Lives Matter. What's up, twin? You said he was selling hotep money and convalescent spells at one point, people. Okay. You said, Antonio, but you are making a big assumption there, man. It's not accurate to say he said it. You said, I hope the new channel don't have all of these damn commercials. Oh, it's going to have music. It's going to be actual, like, music, like shit I listen to. Like I listen to anything you can think of. Let me go down my playlist. I listen to Wu-Tang. I listen to EPMD, PM Dawn. Let me go to some more shit. Hold on, let me go to my YouTube music. Should I play in my car? Okay. Um, I play anything from New York. Probably anything from up there. Anything from Philly. Okay, so I got Special Ed up here. Young Dolph. Well, he's from Memphis, but Big Daddy Kane, LL, Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag. I was listening to that last night. Let's see, Q-Tip, Migos, Gangstar, y'all, Eric B and Rakim, Ghostface, y'all getting the idea. Rock this funky joint. Yeah, Poor Righteous Teachers, sending my love. All right, so I got Zane on there. The Chain Gang, Peace to Philly. Yeah, I got a lot of good music on here. So I be playing that shit. Erykah Badu. I play a little Dennis Coffey from Scorpio. What else? Future. Oh yeah, I got a lot of stuff on there. So I'll be playing different things, right? And so I want to go ahead and just have nights where, we do an hour or two or a couple hours before I really start getting ready to go out. And we just, get hype up and play a little bit of music, maybe have a little drink or something, smoke a little blow, smoke a little blood, you know what I mean? Or something like that. And then, we just chill. And but I can't do all that on this channel. So I'd have to take y'all to another channel to do that. That's not monetized and it's never been monetized. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. And y'all let me know what y'all want to do. You said he did stuff. He said Antonio Barnes. I remember that he was selling that stuff. And you said he did not utter the words, I am positive. Did he? He said Mr. Six Figures was still on his mother's Obamacare family plan too, because he let his medical insurance lapse right when he needed it the most at 25. I remember him telling this whole story. I do not remember him saying this, what Steph is saying, right? I don't remember him uttering those words, but I do remember hearing about it, and I do remember him not actually saying it wasn't particularly true. And I remember some other things that came out along with it that he wasn't able to necessarily debunk. I'll just go there. He said palo, rice, chicken, peas, Big Mac. You said Clark, he posted that in the chat. You said channel counter has revealed that the host has been lying for 2 hours and 41 minutes straight. You said that's not what I said. He spoke verbally. Right. You said, thank you. You said logic. Yes, sir. I'm trying to get through these comments because I'm trying to get back to the commentary. You said, actually, Stephanie, screenshots with him searching information was going around in the sector in 21. Exactly. There was information it was along with that, but along with the double butt fucks and all that other stuff, excuse my language, with all the double, all that stuff. This was also being coming up on his screen because Shakim doesn't know, I guess, how to hide his history or whatever before he's turning on his channel and searching for shit and stuff in front of everybody, trying to look up somebody's shit. While he was doing that, the stuff he'd been searching for was coming up too. And one of them was stuff about this. The other one was the double butt stuff, and there was a lot of other stuff. Another one was assless chaps. It was a bunch of stuff that was coming up in Shakim's search history, right? Back in 20 and 21. So yeah, these rumors been around. This ain't T-Pre. That shit ain't come from me. You said, sorry, make a change from slow response in the gym. Oh, you in the gym? All right. You said Diggable Logic. Stop. Going Caribbean this weekend. You said, right, the beautiful Bernice. And you said, T-Pre, will you be taking soca music requests too? I sure will. You motherfucking right. I do that too. I listen to that too. You said I can't tell you nobody names, but if they play it, I'll play it. Only one I know of. Oh shit! I just know a lot of shit. I don't be knowing the names of the shit, but I know the song, and I don't know if that song is a soca song. Um, Free Mind, I think it's called. Yeah, I love that song. You said a beautiful Bernice. Yes, I remember that too. You said not the Harry Potter Hotel. You said self destruction. You're headed for self destruction. Yes, honey. I love me some all of them Boogie Down Productions. Um, Everybody, you name anybody from that era, I'm into it, all the way into it. Okay, Lord Jamar and all them, Lord Jamar, all of them. Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down, all of that shit, man. All of that shit. I love all them songs. You said hell of a show, T Priz at work and enjoy this. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You said Clark. You said Clark. Don't tell us now, but reports. You said report when you get back. You said I am human first. What you know about that? Okay, because he seemed young to know that song, but you'll be surprised what young ones know too. Because my kids, they know a lot of old school music, probably because of their mother. As a matter of fact, I know that I inspired my oldest son to rap because of old school music and because I've always played shit like that around them. You said make a change. Glorion did a soca and calypso session. It might still be up. You said Clark, I will check it out. You said, oh man, I missed it, Clark. Must watch the replay. You said, I love all music. I do too. I have all different types of music in my little thing. Every so often I'll get into like the white folk eras too. Like I'll get into that shit. You know that song, and there's always something there to remind me. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, that's my shit, okay? Yo, I'll be playing that in my car, every fucking thing. I know people be looking at me crazy. I don't give a fuck. That's my shit. Leave me the fuck alone. You said, how about streaming to two channels at the same time? One just music, unmonetized, and the other one, this one, monetized. Because I can't stream copywritten music on this channel. I've tried it. I actually tried it. I did try to do it on New Year's. They shut that shit down so fast, man. They wasn't letting me do that shit. I said, that's fucked up. So that's why I want to do it on a different channel. And I'll just go ahead and like we can transfer from one to the next. I can do that. StreamYard lets you do that too now. So I can do that. But it wouldn't be where I would keep the music up on this channel. They would be striking the shit out my ass. I ain't got time for that shit. You said Diggable Logic. I meant the Caribbean restaurant. LOL. We'll travel later in the year. You said his health just ain't relevant to the topic, nor something we should involve ourselves in regardless. I agree. And like I said, I was just cussing him the fuck out, period, right? And I didn't appreciate what he said about my son. And so I said what the fuck I said about him. He ain't have to fucking like it. You said I used to hang out with all those dudes back in the day. You said the beautiful Bernice, me too. You said make a change, but I did correct my behavior in that though. You said that was back in the sector dark ages where everything was about gayness. Yeah, it was. You said, of course, that's why he should have not brought it up and critique others' psychological structured avatar and dietary lifestyles. Exactly. He was fair game. Exactly. That on period, right? On motherfucking period, my guy. You said chat lives. Some of the best of R&B and all rap music come from the late 80s and 90s. I will definitely check out T Priest's channel if it comes. Yeah, it's coming. It is something that I really want to do. And I've been really thinking about it a lot lately. So now that I've mentioned it to y'all, it's coming. Okay. I'm just going to do the branding for it and we'll probably get started on that pretty much right away. You guys will know about it. I'll put a link to it in the chats and one of the morning opinions or something. Also put it in the community tab, and then you guys can go over, start subscribing, and then we're gonna tear the house down. Okay. He said, I can't throw stones if you live in a terry cloth house. You know what? You said F the glass house, the terry cloth house though. You said I ain't with that fair game BS. I know, Steph, but I think it's fair game. You said I am human first. Best era in music, in my opinion, is 76 to 80. I like a lot of music from that time too. So we can have nights like that too, where we're listening to old school funk music, where I've got all of them. Honey, I got Sly and the Family Stone for you. I got all types of shit for you on that era and on that tip too. So, yep, we can definitely. Now y'all got me excited about this. Okay. I see y'all loungers. We're going to get this popping, okay? I think it's going to be called the back room, the Black Lounge back room or some shit like that. And we're going to get this shit cracking. Okay. We're going to definitely get it cracking. You said terror cloth. That means very soft. You said, yep, T-Pre. You said, oh, well, I'm especially with a person like Shakima that came in on some BS. You said, fam, does anyone read long sentence chat? Child, it'd be hard. You said, I hope he still got that $50 for 150 in food stamps money spell. Trying to cap. I'm trying to cop. You said it was crazy. You said I don't shy away, I engage. You said naked eyes, something there to remind me. Yeah, that's what it's called. Always something there by Naked Eyes. Yeah, that came up on my feed when I was just looking at um my music because that's the song that I play. So yeah, it's called okay. That's my shit though. You said there's a way to engage that's fair and rational. You said Stephanie Collins. I used to think that too. You said, have you all watched the PBS series Fight the Power with Chuck D? Really good, celebrating 50th anniversary of hip hop. No, I got to go look at that though. Definitely got to go take a look at that because I'm definitely going to like that for sure. All of the music from that time is music I fucking love. Is music. I can go to sleep. Like some people go to sleep to like soft music and stuff. I can go to sleep to old school rap. Literally. You said I was fair and rational. You said I just used his own words against him. You said that's fair. I never lied on him. You said, yep, me too, T-Pre. Okay. You said, woohoo. Okay, girl, we gotta get it in. I'm telling you. You said personal characteristics, traits, health. Why is that even relevant? How does it help your position? You said, but bitch niggas get mad and gotta go get they team of doxers. Cowards ain't shit. You said, so telling the truth is unfair and irrational when it puts the person in a negative light. Oh, okay, I understand. You say, yes, that's my song too, T-Pre. Y'all gonna like a lot of songs. If y'all like that song, y'all gonna like a lot of shit I like. Like I like shit from War, all type of shit. The Cisco Kid was a friend of mine. All that shit. I like all of that music. All of music from that, the Commodores, you name it, I like it. Okay, y'all gonna be like, oh, this bitch love music. Okay, yeah, I love fucking music. So, you guys will hear that. You guys will hear that. Shout out to my parents. They are responsible for that. You said chat lives. Did you see YouTube now allows you to categorize uploads as podcasts? Yes. So now you have shorts, videos, lives, and podcasts. Yep. Absolutely. You said, why does it put him in a negative light, Antonio Barnes? You said, naked eyes, sis. Thank you. I'm glad you said it. Yes. Beat era of death metal, 90 through 01. Okay, so y'all want to get into death metal? Y'all want to get into some 90s metal? Some 80s metal? How about that? I could get into that too. I got y'all. We're going to get into some shit, okay? We're going to get into some shit. Best era of death metal. Yep. Yes. I can get into some Anthrax. I can get into some Guns N' Roses. I can get into all of this shit, y'all. Don't play with T-Pre. I can get into all of it. You said make a change. Yeah. You said I have a couple of videos in a podcast playlist. I was going to Google what the difference is. What you know, spill it. As a matter of fact, it's funny because metal music and hip hop are a lot alike, and they've come together many times in the past. And we can play a lot of that stuff too. The Run DMC times, Beastie Boys, all of that stuff. We can get into all of that, and then go into some other music like from Metallica and all that stuff. I know all of them groups and love them all. He said, make a change. Yeah, I have a couple of vids in a podcast playlist. I was going to Google what the difference is. What you know, spill it. You said, if it does or he perceives it as a negative occurrence, Stephanie. All right, I think I'm gonna have to do a 2-part series on Alan's show because we got so many comments, and I'm coming on 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I got to go. Okay, I actually have some stuff I got to do, so more than likely we are going to come back with a 2-part on this. I'm probably going to do it Sunday. I probably won't do it tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. It depends. I may do it tomorrow. We'll see. You said if I'm there for that, for sure. I listen to all kinds of music. Me too, guys. You guys have no idea. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like, I'm just naming shit. I love everything. Every goddamn thing. Okay. The only thing I'm not into now, I mean, there's some drill rap I'm into too. I ain't even gonna hold you. But there's some other stuff, like there's some newer stuff I don't really like. But then there is some newer ones that I do, right? So we can get into new stuff. We can have new hip hop nights and all that stuff too. Um, and we'll see. You said it's not unusual. Engelbert Humperdinck, haha, the Carlton dance. Right? It's not unusual, right? You said haven't messed it with it yet. Right now, I'm testing something out with shorts. I haven't either, but I can try that. And I was going to start testing out my shorts too. Definitely, especially on my club nights. I was thinking about just doing some like quick shorts with y'all. Also on days that we do community service, just show you guys some stuff we do. I was thinking about doing my shorts that way. You say you have to understand people become caricatures of themselves, cartoon characters more like it, running on a script for strangers online. You said I thought Tom Jones sung It's Not Unusual. He did. I thought he did too. You said death metal will clear the dance floor. Well, the Metallica and them, they're not necessarily death metal, but I don't really like that kind of stuff. But I can show y'all some of those songs and show y'all how the music industry shifted from that time frame, right? And how a lot of the music that was out back then you could play backwards and they had messages on them. So a lot of the death metal songs and stuff, they had messages on them. And nowadays, the hip hop songs are like that. But the hip hop songs weren't like that back in the day. It was the metal songs that were like that. And that shit changed somewhere. And I would say I want to say the late 90s, mid to late 90s is when that all started up, when that changed up. And you guys correct me on that if y'all know. But somewhere around there is when that all started to change. But yeah, that's when that was like that. You said, that's him, beautiful Bernice. You said, yeah. You said, T Pre, is there going to be a twerk cam? Just asking for a friend. I might have one. There's a girlfriend of mine that when we have parties and stuff, she does twerk contests. We throw twerk contests sometimes, and every so often. And so I could have her do shit like that. And we can do contests on it so everybody can get on cam, right? I could do some shit like that. Absolutely. Yeah, we can make it fun. I could definitely make that shit fun. I might not be twerking though, but you say, yeah, that's why we have generations with tattoos on their necks and fingers. Child. You said, not the Cisco kid was a friend of mine. I like anything from War, anything from that group. World is a Ghetto, everything they sang. He said he drank whiskey, then he drank wine. He drank whiskey and he drank wine. He said, fam, into the sector. Our folks coast to coast, Caribbean, African, we up. Facts. You said, T Pre, you've been holding down the morning show hours. Facts. That's what's happening, y'all. You said, Alexa, play T Pre heavy metal show intro. Yeah? So TMK, you got to make me some intros for this. I got to get me an intro for the heavy metal one. I got to get me an intro for, I ain't going to do that shit. I ain't going to have heavy metal night, but I'll probably have like nights where we mix it up and I'll throw some metal in there and I'll throw some old school metal rap, right? I'll throw some rap in there, old school rap. And, we just kind of mix it up and just have nights like that. But I'm probably going to come up with a really good one. Grover Washington Jr., honey. Yes, yes. Oh, you want to do a jazz type stuff? Y'all want to do jazz with Kenny G and all them? Oh, I could do that too, guys. Yeah. He said, do you know YouTube now allows you to share revenue on your videos with copywritten music? Nope, because they're not letting me do it. I don't know why they're letting anybody else. They ain't letting me do that shit. No. They haven't let me try that at all. Matter of fact, I still got this little strike or little warning up where they're like, don't do that again. Don't do that again. So I don't know. Maybe they let other people do that, but not me. Not me. Now they do have YouTube has music on. There's this channel that they have where there's a couple of them where you can play certain songs, but those songs are they're like redacted, right? And there some of them also are like mixed up and messed. They're not like the full song. So YouTube does have something like that where you can do that. That's more like for intros or like if you like the other day I played a video where they were talking about Aaliyah and her song came up for a real short snippet in the video. They're not going to strike me for that. But for me to just try to play a song, them niggas coming smooth for my neck. Shit. Nope. You said Beastie Boys, best rich Jewish track, suit wearing rappers from Long Island ever. Facts. They really are. You said TC Trap TV. No, I didn't. I got to check that out. You said demonic. Somebody called 2007 Lenon. Insane Clown Posse. Oh, y'all niggas is my niggas, man. I love the Loungers. I love the Loungers. Corpse Husband. You said not ICP. Yeah, the Insane Clown Posse. You said starting to listen to Kim Dracula. You said the beautiful Bernice. Yes, Tom Jones. You said I love the Insane Clown Posse. I do too. You said Antonio is a juggalo. Aerosmith is another one. Yes, Aerosmith came together with who did they come together with? Well, you know who they came. Walk This Way. Run DMC. Okay. You said keep your bodies in your pockets, please. Just the music. Yes. Well, we gonna twerk a little bit, but your body gonna stay in your clothes. Okay. Your body gonna stay in your clothes. Okay. Keep your tooties. Keep your boopies. Okay. And your ootsies in your clothes, okay? But you could twerk and dance a little bit, you know? We could do a little bit. You said they deserve the Congressional Medal for bringing up juggalos. You said, did somebody say twerk cam? Ooh. Hey, Samba. I done brought Samba out the clouds. Y'all done brought Samba Queen out the clouds when we said twerk cam. Ew. You said the beautiful Bernice was putting them together. Ha ha. When I think of Tom Jones, I think of Engelbert. You said I can help with all that. Okay. You said I can help with all that. You said Vici, you are onto something there. You said levels, scales of engagement. You choose scales. Shout out, Alan. You know what? Blasphemy. Don't ever mention Kenny G and Grover Washington Jr. in the same sentence again, or I will slash your tires. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I absolutely love both of them. And jazz is another fucking thing, as y'all can see. Clearly, since I got the lounge going with the whole jazz theme with a lot of stuff, I really love music like that. That does put me in a certain mood. And yeah, I really love both of them. So I'm sorry. Don't slash the tires. You said it all makes sense now, Stephanie Collins. You said make a change. I heard your acronym stand for missing ACKs. Say it ain't so, bro. You said love war and the Doobie Brothers. You said boobies, not bodies. Booties, not bodies. You said y'all know anything about Brother Lynch? Of course. You said Michael Frank. Oh my God, y'all. I love y'all. You said, damn, are we this old? Yes, we are old guys. You said, Miss T, do you like coffee, King Promise, Carlo Afrobeat, Carib Afrobeat? I can listen to anything, especially soca music, Caribbean, anything like that. Yes, I do like that stuff. I just may not know them by name, right? So, But you said, haha, twerk cam. You funny. Listen, guys, we about to get out of here. It is 3 hours and 39 minutes in, okay? I am going to come back to this because I absolutely want to finish up what was being talked about, okay? There was a lot more that Shakim ended up saying, and I ended up coming back on the panel too a little bit later to say a few more things. So we are going to get into all of that. But guys, we're going to end the show here today, okay? I really do appreciate all of you for coming in. Shout out to all of y'all, all my A1s who are always in here coming out and checking out the pre. Always appreciate y'all. And for those that catch the replay, I truly appreciate you guys as well. The replay value on a video is always great as well. So make sure that you guys do come back so that we can go ahead and get back into this. More than likely, I will do this again on Sunday, but I may do it tomorrow, okay? But it'll probably be later in the day if I do it tomorrow. But guys, I will talk to you guys later, okay? And again, shout out to all of you for being in the building. Thank you, Clark, and the beautiful Bernice for coming in. You said Kanye West did a good song with Maroon 5. Yep. We can get into Kanye's old music too. I like most of Kanye's music. Yeah, I don't think there's a song that Kanye made that I didn't necessarily like. It's probably him more, but the music itself, and back when he wasn't doing all this stuff, yeah, I fucks with that nigga on heavy. I also fuck with a lot with Jay-Z, just to let y'all know. I like a lot of his music, but child, we will be getting into some Jay-Z-ish, okay? Yeah. But that'll be for this channel, okay? But for the other channel, which will probably be called the Black Lounge Backroom or whatever it'll be called, or something of that nature, we are going to get to popping up in here, okay? I think I already have a couple of subscribers on that one channel, so I'll just go ahead and start that channel up and get everything popping over there. All right, guys. Well, listen, I appreciate y'all, and everybody said peace, loungers. Talk to y'all later. You said H to the Izzo, G to the Izzy. Yes. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all. I love y'all, and peace, guys. Thank you guys again for watching. And make sure that you are hitting the like button on the way out. Peace, guys.